Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fire in the Dark. I'm your host and GM, Jaimie Wolfe, and I'm joined by these fantastic scoundrels. Say hello, scoundrels.
Hello.
Hello.
And today we bring you episode 2 of Fire in the Dark with our Murmur Venture project. But before we really get started, we got a couple of very special announcements. First things first, we are raising money today for Our Justice. Our Justice is an organization that helps raise money for reproductive health and for bodily autonomy rights in the wake of everything that's going on, which I'm sure you're aware if you've been paying attention in the news. We are doing our part to try to help people have access to the resources they need. To that end, we will be having several giveaways today, 3 of which have already been triggered thanks to generous donations we got before the stream even started this week. So we will be giving away a PDF copy of Blades in the Dark, the wonderful game that you've been getting to watch us play here, as well as a gift card to Wormwood. Was that correct? Wormwood to Wormwood Gaming. And a gift card to Found Familiar Coffee. And then those are the giveaways we've already triggered. If we reach our goal, we also have a giveaway for a hard copy, a physical copy of Blades in the Dark. So, push those incentives, push up that goal, and help us raise a little bit of money to get out there and help people. Beyond that, as you've seen, we've had a few little technical bits and bobbles here. We might have a tech thing that happens somewhere in the middle, just based on some snafus that are going on. If that happens, stream will probably cut and restart. I would say expect like a 5-minute gap in there, as just OBS has been very wonky and might crash, so we might have to reset a few things. But before we begin, allow my scoundrels once more to introduce themselves, starting going in the order that we went last time. Parker.
Hi, my name is Parker. I play Asher Claw, aka Spectre, and my pronouns are she, they.
Rue.
Hello, my name is Rue. I use they or he pronouns, and I'm playing Silas Crow Heartroot, who uses he or z pronouns.
Cole.
Hi there, y'all. I am Cole. My pronouns are he, him, they, them. And I am playing Tristaro Wax Valentine, also using the same pronouns.
And last but never least, John.
Hello, I'm John Downey, he, him, and I will be playing Mort the Mouth Morrison, who is also he, him.
Absolutely brilliant. And of course, as I said, I'm Jaimie Wolfe. I'm your GM. Don't mind me. I'm just, the voice in the background telling the story while they actually make it. But to that end, why don't we talk a little bit about what happened last time with our scoundrels? A rather daring endeavor and job for which they were well compensated and well paid, but a break into Iron Hook Prison, one that they took a 2-pronged attack, going for both a social and infiltration route, and meeting in the middle to break out not only Skag the Knife, but also a former commander of Mort's, and having freed them from Iron Hook with minimal losses. Rest in peace, Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
Having garnered not just coin for themselves for this, but also a potential future favor from a powerful ally in the form of Echo and the Damned. And not to mention a hell of a reputation for daring endeavors, having undergone such a prison break. In the weeks come to follow from that, we have our fantastic scoundrels getting everything ready in order to launch their actual venture. The kind of reason behind all of this, the Murmur Venture project, I guess you could call it the drug, the foundation of their idea, leaning on Archie, their patron, who has been providing a lot of the resources and knowledge for actually forming this with the intent of pushing Pyro, the dangerous drug, also known as Formula 451, off the streets for the pyrotechnics and rather volatile fires that it has been causing throughout the streets, either through the powers that it gives people with control over the ghost field to project fiery energy, or through spontaneous combustion through overdose. And I will take this moment to remind you that we of course have content warnings for this game that are in the chat and usually pop up on screen at various times. So keep that in mind. If this is not your subject matter, we invite you to maybe take a break and check out some of the other fantastic shows like Denari's Half Dozen that happen here on the Huntsmen's Hydra. But where we pick up is once more in the floating headquarters of the Murmur Venture Project, their boat canaled just to the south of Charter Hall and a little bit ways away from Six Towers. There's been some talk of perhaps moving it in the wake of, Echo having come on board, conversations that are still being had, and some rather pointed looks at Archie for his invitation. But to say all is well isn't necessarily the case. But inside that house, we find ourselves once more gathered round the table and the map of Duskfall. Mort, the mouth, sitting in his chair, crumbs kind of in his beard as he starts to pull out his comb and as he leans back in the chair. Sitting in the rafters are Crow and Asher, both snacking on delicious pastries, because on the table next to the map is a half-eaten box of beignets. And of course, hovering over it with an equal amount of crumbs in his beard is Tristaro, as he taps his sometimes a pen, sometimes a knife, but ever useful tool against the table, thinking over the next course of action. And of course, their nervous patron, Archie, who's twiddling his bow tie a little bit and stretching it and sweating perhaps a little bit more than usual. Right, yes. So, how is everyone today?
Mort immediately stands up and walks over to Archie and reaches into his pocket, very slowly but deliberately, and pulls out a fountain pen and hands it to Archie.
Until the fountain pen comes out, Archie is just slowly shrinking until the fountain pen actually comes out. And oh, thank you.
It's a gift.
I appreciate that, Mort. Truly.
You're
How
welcome.
thoughtful.
And just turns slowly and goes back to sit down.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You look like you've seen a ghost, Professor.
Well, it is Duskfall, isn't it? Perhaps I had a run-in with the Weeping Lady somewhere in Six Towers as I was journeying about. Who's to say? But regardless, the lot of you have performed quite admirably, might I say. Bit of a daring show, shall we say, on that last job. I respect it, of course.
You keep finding really interesting jobs for us. You know that, right?
I do my best. But I regret to inform you that this next job may test the very limits of your skills.
I thought we were kind of set up now.
Also rude. We're really skilled in various ways.
We're incredibly. I mean, we can hold our own, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I thought we were pretty much ready to roll. No, we've got
Yes.
we have everything we need to start this operation.
Exactly. Well, we have everything we need to start the operation, which is why your next job is hosting a party for investors and distributors.
Your job for us is to host a party.
It might be the most important job we've had to date, actually. Nothing can make or break an enterprise of this scale more than the people who are interested in it.
Right. But have you met us? You are we supposed to be at the party?
Yes,
Fair.
you are kind of the core of this whole operation. They kind of do want to see what they're putting their money and their resources behind in terms of distribution. This is why I said this would test the limits of your skills. Because I know your skills.
Maybe
Well-
you don't. Maybe we are very good at hosting parties and we just don't invite you to them.
I feel slightly left out.
I'm joking. We don't have parties.
I didn't think you did, but still, cut me to my core there, bro.
You really shouldn't make assumptions about us. You don't know what we
Hey.
get up to.
I do have your dossiers gathered for me by the lovely Wax over here, so I at least can make some kind of assumptions.
You
Right.
know what they say about those, yeah?
I've been told. How are the beignets, by the way?
Good.
Yeah.
All of us eating them.
Asher, meanwhile, like in the rafters along upside with Crow, just kind of goes over just so I'm hovering above Archie at this point, and I tap it a little bit so some of the powdered sugar falls off and onto Archie's shoulder. You did good. Just make sure you keep it up, all right?
Yes. Sure. Absolutely.
I think out of a daze, Wax just kind of comes out and goes, "Oh, yeah. Thank you for the beignets, Archie. That was really polite of you. Yeah, sales." Another memory just flashes back in the back of Wax's head going, "Oh God, sales, not again."
Oh no, I have to
yes.
work retail.
Ugh.
I
No,
told
thank
you,
you.
this job is going to push your ability to improvise. But yes, he's yes, I actually got a discount on the beignets as I got them from the coffee shop about 3 blocks down.
Right.
Re-examines the
Oh.
beignets. Oh God.
Did you see our friend there?
I don't think they run the front of the business, as they say. But I did, I was kindly welcomed and given a notable discount and a free cup of coffee. So, anyway, right. But I do, in fact, know your skills. I know what your applicable, available, how you work in general. I know that perhaps these kinds of social organizations aren't exactly your forte, but securing lines of distribution are incredibly important. And I have prepared basic dossiers on the most notable figures who are going to be there to pay attention to. So, I imagine you will likely want to gather information on your own time prior to the endeavor, but allow me to kind of quickly run down the list for you. We have Mother Naya from the House of the Weeping Lady is coming. She's one of those individuals who helps to provide succor and comfort, sometimes in more ways than one, is the thing. We also have Nessa, who is the leader of the Grey Cloaks. If you're not familiar, the Grey Cloaks are a faction who are disgraced bluecoats who run a pit fighting ring. And as you probably expect, a pit fighting ring, a system of pit fighting rings is a great place for the distribution of our product. We have Helene, the proprietor of the Silver Stag Casino, who, as you'd expect in a town such as this, especially in Silkshore, casino life is also going to be a prime market for our ventures. We also have Jeremiah coming, apparently. I didn't send an invitation. She sent notice that she'd be coming. If you don't know who Jeremiah is, she's the leader of the Hive.
I must ask, Professor, where are we having this party? You did not invite them here again, did you?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I of course would not make the same mistake twice.
Good.
I have rented a space that is designed for luxury of this kind in Silkshore, is the thing. That is not everyone who's coming, though. We still have 2 other individuals who are showing up. In terms of generalized distribution, just street side, outside of what we will be running on our own time, I've also invited Lissa, the current leader of the Crows in Crow's Foot.
Okay.
And last, but notably, not least, we have a friend from the stranger side of things who's interested in our formula and seeing it find its way to some of the darker depths of Duskfall. So I do expect you all to be on your absolute best behavior for Lord Skurlock.
You're talking about the Lord who, my understanding is, no one fucks with him because he may or may not be a vampire. I don't know the rumors.
You know, the rumors vary. Vampire, soul tied to a demon, found the secret to immortality alongside the Emperor himself. It varies. The man so powerful has said that he could take on a horde of 30 single-handedly.
Right. So, going to be quite the party. Anybody else we need to know about?
Those are the notable names. Of course, there will be other individuals in attendance, not to mention their own attaches.
Entourage type deal. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That they bring along with everyone else.
Okay.
I've invited a few runners of various houses of pleasure in Silkshore, as you'd imagine. I've invited a few of the notable smokehouse den runners of Charterhouse for a lot of the student population that lives in that area. These are just the most important names.
Overall attendance, how many are we thinking?
20.
Right.
Tops, probably.
Okay. Entertainment, food, catering. Have we thought of the whole thing? Do we have a budget? Have you really planned this out, Archie?
Okay. I see where you're going with this. You, Lord, are there largely to mingle and make sure that things go well with the investors. I have handled catering. And it is up to date. It is the prime luxury. It is what is in season for this year. Decorations, decor has been handled. We've gone with something simple yet elegant, kind of a thing. Like we don't want to be flashy a show. We're not that kind of individuals. We're just trying to keep show that we're running. We're not overspending money because we don't want to show the investors that we're going to be flaunting it everywhere, kind of a thing, wasting cash. We've gone for something simple yet leaves an impression, kind of a thing. There will be servants or the like, wait staff that are working to run things, so you don't have to worry about that. You won't be working in that vein. Your job is just keep the distributors and investors happy.
So where are the entertainment? Got it.
Well, there's a band. There'll be a band.
Oh, good. Oh, fun.
Like I've got a
Archie.
band. Some
Archie,
kind of
I think you missed your calling, Archie. Like, why are you a professor? You really should be in events, it sounds like.
Look, professor, events, generally it's all the same thing. Managing a rowdy group of individuals trying to get a class organized and make sure that everything gets everything in on time. It's all the same, really.
We should sit on one of your classes at some point. Really see you in your element.
Yes.
What do you even
Fun.
teach?
I teach esoteric mathematics. I teach the theory of numbers at the heart of the universe and how mathematics can shape and warp the ghost field.
Oh,
Fun.
sounds like I would not understand it.
Perhaps you should sit in sometime then. It seems up your vein, honestly. But let's be honest. You all lot would probably find my classes dull. It's at the end of the day, it's mathematics, it's formulas and the like. Just because I find it fascinating doesn't mean it's for everyone. But I have prepared very basic dossiers on these notable individuals who will be there. If you need questions or concerns from me, you can find me, of course, as usual, in my office, but the event in question is in 2 nights hence. Well, night being relative, of course, it's always night here, but in 2 passes of the clock. So prepare yourselves and do try to wear something nice, I suppose.
Are you implying what we wear isn't nice?
I'm implying what...
Who
Oh,
you
yes.
point
No,
at.
I am implying that, actually. I am implying that, actually. What all of you wear is not necessarily on the upper scale of things. Just because I don't think it's, practical in your line of work. Hardly going to do you much good to have a tailcoat when you're trying to sneak and disappear into the night.
Do you have a wardrobe for us, or do we need to go out and get something?
He looks down at his tweed jacket and bow tie, and his slacks. I don't think I'm the best example here, honestly. Maybe ask Tristaro. Tristaro's got friends in low and high places.
We can work something out. I think I can get this covered for us.
Thank you, Axe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So there's all the food is covered.
All the food is covered. All the drinks are covered. Everything is had. It would be a lovely assortment of hors d'oeuvres, as well as some very light kind of finger foods. Something none too filling. It's kind of that either pre or post dinner kind of fare, the snacky. There'll be some small desserts and the like. Just things that don't require forks, that can be easily eaten and carried around.
Well, if we don't have a lot of time for this one, but in the future, if we ever have a situation like this, I have a really nice lemon bar recipe.
I would love to get your lemon bar recipe more, actually. And in fact, perhaps in the future, should something, because let's be honest, having events of this kind comes in the nature of our business at this point. Networking, making connections. Perhaps I can connect you to our caterer, and you can work with them.
I don't know that I have the time for that, but lemon bars, I can do lemon bars.
Okay.
With time.
I appreciate the effort you're putting into this endeavor, Mort.
Just want to do everything I can.
Brilliant. Well, as I said, you can find me in my office, as spoken, if you have any questions for me or you need anything from me. Otherwise, I'll let you do your thing. I will say, one of the other reasons I'm obviously trusting this to you is I can't actually be there, unfortunately. Not to say that I'm afraid to show my face in public. Absolutely not. I'm not afraid to associate my face with this endeavor. No. But I do actually have a conference. I actually have a conference.
Archie, why does it sound like you're lying to us?
Sounded like maybe you
Probably
scheduled the
because
thing on the
I'm
same
always
day on
nervous.
purpose.
It's because I'm
Well-
always nervous.
Hmm.
To be fair, Asher, there's an off chance that because of the people we're meeting, a lot of people are gonna have knives and guns, and it would be a kindness if Archie had a couple degrees of distance from us, just for safety reasons.
That's fair.
Which is a good time to bring up, hey Archie, what would you like us to refer you as outside of the distributor and manufacturer? This is a good time for you to come up with your own alias.
You need a nickname.
I suppose I do. Why don't you call me?
I said you could always just go with the professor. It is very mysterious.
It is very mysterious. I don't want to potentially be. If I call myself the professor, the first place someone might look is the academy. Is the thing.
that
You on
is
the
fair.
nose.
What if you just call me the purveyor?
Also mysterious. Fair enough.
Right.
Give it an 8 out of 10.
That's a low B, so I'll take it.
You don't want an A. If you get an A, then people start trying to find you and pick a fight with you.
You know what? Valid. Right. Well, again, I will let you all do your thing, as they say, and take my leave. Mort. He also kind of pats Mort on the shoulder. Good to see that you're doing better with your seasickness. And then he steps down off the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Bye,
Thank you again for the
Archie.
beignets.
I'll bring
Papadanga.
more. Maybe next time croissants.
Sure, just keep feeding us.
A bunch of college students just keep bringing us food.
That's really what this is.
I was feeling better about the boat, and then he brought it up, and now I'm thinking about it.
Oh, now I think about the beignets again. They were good. They're yummy. I'm very interested in your lemon square recipe there, Mort. Not that I want to try baking whatsoever, but if you ever need somebody to taste test, I'm very happy.
I would need an oven.
Yeah, we don't have that on this, do we?
But as soon as we get an oven, first thing.
All right.
When it can be the celebration for when we expand our base.
On the chalkboard right behind the table,
Easy.
there's like a list of like various things we need. Bathroom, quarters, wax goes up, it just writes oven. Not even kitchen, oven.
Oven.
Bathroom, quarters, oven, laundry.
Yeah.
We can just dump it in the canal. Anyway, so what's the plan at this point? I assume, as y'all are wont to do, that you're interested in gathering information. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do we want to aim for, I guess? Like, who do we want to schmooze the most? Because I'm assuming this is schmooze the RPG at this point.
Well, I figure, who do we want to get the most information on so we know how to, like, strategically suck up to them? That's what I figure this is.
Yeah. My first thought was the Helene of the casino. Do we know, like, what kind of casino that is? Like,
I'm assuming
One of you knows
Asher
what kind of-
knows.
one of you knows that casino very intimately,
Yes,
in fact,
right.
actually.
Yeah, that one made Asher very happy. Let's just say that much.
One of those, Helene, might be one of you's vice purveyor.
Exactly.
I'm thinking if it's a higher class kind of casino, then it might be a good way to get a few high roller customers as opposed to like low roller, like a larger mass of low rollers. You could go for a few high rollers. But if it's kind of a seedy casino, then that's Not necessarily a bad person to go for still, but it's different.
Well, actually, Asher, you would know that the Silver Stag Casino caters to many types of individuals. It has its exclusive high rolling VIP sections. It's got its general tables that a lot of the common people, it is kind of the people's casino. It is a large, maybe the largest casino in Silkshore. That's why Helene herself was actually targeted. And it is kind of one of those things where a little bit of everybody goes there at some point or another. Everything, if you're interested in coin and you're interested in the hands of fate, you eventually trickle down your way to the Silver Stag.
All right, so Silver Stag's gonna be a bit of a broad stroke of everybody, but that means Helene's gonna be one of the most connected people as well. So I think that's going to be somebody that we want to make sure we do have information on, not for personal reasons at all whatsoever. I am more than happy to make good friends with Helene during the party. Just saying.
Okay. Other people that caught my eye, the person from the Hive.
Yeah, that sounded like fun. They just are attending without an invitation. I love it.
Yeah.
Don't we have a connection to the Hive?
You do. You actually
like the
have
Hive.
you have a +2 with the Hive.
Yeah.
Y'all were very insistent on getting in good with them, which is why Jera has decided to attend of her own volition.
Love that for us.
Yeah.
Which is probably in your benefit because the Hive is a tier 4 distribution network of resources.
Oh, yeah. That's why we didn't want to piss them off.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should definitely have someone, maybe not smoozing too much because that might actually annoy them, but at least ensuring, everything's okay, they find stuff enjoyable, maybe giving them a free sample of the product too, just to kind of get that idea in their head that we are to their benefit. Another person that caught my eye is the leader of the Crows showing up. With the Crows, of course, being known for extortion rackets, concerns me. But that could also be we get another team of security to help ensure everything's going around, like all of our shipments are protected if we want to go that route.
I think the Crows might be more important to less so necessarily get ourselves on their good side and more just make sure we are not on their bad side.
I think that's generally going to be the play for a lot of these folk that show up here. Just as long as we don't piss them off and we make them happy, I think we'll hopefully be okay.
The Crows, you would be aware of this. Asher, actually. The Crows also run a gambit of illegal gambling dens throughout Crowsfoot, is the thing.
Yeah,
which is why they would also be a good distributor.
Yeah. The one that concerns me the most, I think, might be Lord Skurlock. The Grey Cloaks are fine. They're just cops who lost their badge, which actually, now that I think about it, might be worse.
Every time Lord Skurlock gets mentioned, Asher, because you're sitting next to Crow, you can watch as visibly he tenses.
You all right there?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
It's just that every time we talk about Lord Skurlock, is that the name? Skurlock. I'm getting that correct, right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. His name is Skurlock. Yes.
Right. Anybody familiar with this Skurlock? Gent? No. Crow?
Nothing but terrible things on my end.
We have run in similar circles, and our paths have crossed more than a couple of times.
Wait, in the school circles or the weird circles?
The weird circles. I don't think he goes to school.
Okay. Crap.
Or if he did, it was a very long time ago.
That's concerning.
As Crow and Asher are talking, Wax has gone over to the chalkboard, drawn three squares, and wrote under each vampire, immortal, possessed by demon. All right, put your votes in.
Wait, are we betting on this one? Can we start the betting pool? Can that be?
If we are betting, you are all going to lose because I know the answer.
Oh.
But I will abstain so that you can bet.
No,
Okay,
please, by all means, share. Which is it? Now I'm just curious.
Yeah, now I'm concerned if you know.
He, by all accounts, my own included, he is a vampire.
Shit.
And we have not the best of relationships.
Oh, so they're going to notice you at the party then?
Yes, I am certain they will know that I am there, and he will either go straight for me or leave, I think. Both will be bad. So,
Right.
I suppose I can attempt to make amends, but I'm not sure how well that will go.
Oh, I was going to say, let's go full makeover at this point and just see if we can't obscure the fact that it's you.
I do look very different for school, but I
Okay.
don't know if it will be different enough.
Right.
We can figure that out. We can definitely get us some outfits as well.
Yeah. Do I have to wear a dress? Do you think I can get away without wearing a dress? I don't want to wear a dress.
In high society, you can actually get away with wearing like nice trousers and a vest
good.
as well.
Thank God.
I definitely need some new clothes. How do we feel about me sort of manning the guest list at the front door? That way we can, even though we might not have time to hit everybody and really lay it on thick, at least I can have maybe something special for sort of these VIPs that I can hand off to them as they come in.
Mm-hmm. I could see you in a really good bouncer role. Another thought as well. Have you been able to politely turn away bluecoats before? Because no matter what kind of party it is, at some point, some inspector gets it in their head. I could cuff some nobles for this. And so your job will also be to negotiate them to kindly piss off.
I think that is well within my ability.
Okay.
You are the kindest of us by far, so I think that is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. So do we want to do any research on any, like, I am willing. I mean, I am more than willing to offer myself to go to the casino and, see if I can't scout out any information on Helene. I'm also willing to dig into some of the other gambling-related tasks that may or may not be on our plate here.
What is the... Yeah.
I know sorry.
So what I'm going to tell you is that the timeline-wise, if you divide the work, each of you have about enough time to get information on one person from the dossier if you each take one. Alternatively, if you want to get more concentrated information, two of you could take the same person, kind of a thing.
Okay.
We will call the acquisition of clothes and things like that. We're going to do just a straight roll using each of you is going to use your you have a stat for this. Actually, it's your stash or your... Let me double check that. You have a stat for this that none of you have much in, unfortunately. Yeah, it's your stash. You're gonna be rolling your stash, which by the way is 0 for all of you right now.
Excellent.
Good times.
Where is that on the...
If you go to coin.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to coin,
oh,
to the right of it, stash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because the higher your stash is, the more you have in savings.
Oh, John.
College students,
Mort.
come on.
I mean, it's costume, so it's a lifestyle roll. So everyone just go ahead and click stash, and we'll see that for... Okay, Tristaro got a 3.
Oh boy. Oh,
3s and 1s all around.
Oh golly.
So Mort, you manage to acquire. It's actually a nice suit, save for the fact that it's 2 sizes too small.
Thick
is the thing. And as you are, when we get to the night of everything going up and you getting the suit on, you rip the sleeves off by accident. So you will be going in a suit vest, to say the least, with the sleeves gone, and a nice little bow tie that is perhaps 1 size too small for your body in general.
Wait, I got this. Can I take Mort's tie and like snip it a bit and then add like an extra strand that will be covered by the shirt and give it just like a
say yes.
It will easily snap off, so if anyone grabs you by the scruff of the shirt, it's done.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick moment. Thank you for the donation, Dragon Gem.
Holy
crap.
Holy.
Thank you so much for helping us raise money for our justice. And that will trigger our last giveaway for a physical copy of Blades in the Dark as well, which we do have a current giveaway for a PDF copy of it, y'all. So get in on that if you want. But thank you. Anyway, yeah, you're very able to adjust the tie so it does fit better. But and like it has that little adjustment, and Mort, you're not going to be, being choked by your own tie. But you're Tristaro. You pride yourself on thrifting nice clothes that have been discarded. That's kind of how you've made your style, kind of a thing, is to keep a more up class but like out of season look, kind of a thing. Unfortunately for you, out of season isn't really what you want to go for in this kind of situation, yet it is all you have. So you're going to be, in terms of the season of fashion, you're going to be about 3 seasons behind. So everything you have looks nice and is well presented. You're just going to be a little out of date, shall we say. Crow, the nicest events that you're used to going to outside of anything at school are like the occasional infiltrating a cult meeting. So you kind of, when the combination of hearing that Skurlock was gonna be there and like everything, a little bit of anxiety, fingers and things got crossed, you're in robes.
Amazing.
And Asher, your experience with the High and Mighty is very different because you're used to pilfering from them.
Yeah. Or trying to sleep with them, one of the two.
Or trying to sleep with them. So you also kind of get your wires crossed in that respect where you're like, it's sleep with them or steal from them. Both? Maybe both?
Both.
Am I trying to do both? No, wait, I'm not trying to do either of those things. So maybe both is neither. And you ended up with, correct me if I'm wrong, but with your permission, basically the ensemble of a slutty thief.
Yes.
Like a Halloween costume for college-aged kids. That's
There
just
you go.
thief.
Right.
Whatever you find at Party City, that's what I've got on.
So good.
Sorry, I am Googling sexy thief costume to see what comes up.
There's no way it's not out there.
Oh, it's absolutely out there. There's a sexy ghost costume, and it's a sheet with like breasts cut out of it. It's fine.
Pretty good.
Oh, this is great.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I hate some of the names for these. I am not reading them out.
that is kind of what we've got in terms of your general overall appearances, but let's actually get into the important stuff, gathering the information. Are you going to pair up? Are you all going to split off, take your own dossiers? It's up to you. Obviously Asher's taking Helene. She's established that. That's happening. But beyond that, why don't we what are you thinking, Tristaro?
My thought process is I kind of want to do a scene where Tristaro kind of breaks down. When you were at these kind of events, You need to have an elevator pitch ready. You need to kind of show the product and you need to show it's worth the price, and then offer to make them a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, I think I do want to talk to. I'm gonna go talk to the crows. I want to investigate them.
You're gonna look into the crows. All right.
Yeah, because I feel like they're gonna pull some fishy shit.
Sounds good. Crow. Speaking of crows, Crow. Who are you gonna look into? Do you think?
The person wants to go look into Skurlock. Crow does not want to go look any deeper into Skurlock than Z already has. I think I know her tangentially. We have only seen each other a bit, but I could go and talk to the madam if we wanted something from the other side. If we are worried about not getting the reaction we want necessarily from Skurlock, having someone on the weird side of town, I could go and check out the madam.
Mother Narya?
Yeah.
Of the House of the Weeping Lady? Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And Mort.
What's the deal with the pit fighting? With the Grey Cloaks?
Yeah, the Grey Cloaks, everyone is pretty aware of this. The Grey Cloaks are disgraced bluecoats. The general consensus is that they were one of the, districts of bluecoats that looked over a certain area. And their district house burned down, and they all took the fall for it on the assumption that they were trying to hide evidence. And the word on the streets, for sure at this point, is that they're trying to kind of get vengeance and clear their own name, kind of a thing, for doing that, but have turned to criminal enterprises because, it's fucking Duskfall anyway. So they run a fighting pit, illegal bar, and by fighting pit, it is not just human fighting, it is all kinds of fighting, animals as well, and the occasional, it's an illegal fighting pit, so sometimes it's no holds barred, anything goes.
Okay. I think it makes a lot of sense to probably go, at least go and try and get an audience with somebody high up there, and probably just make a showing. I would probably just put my name in, and see if somebody wants to talk to me anyway. I think I'd probably start there.
Sounds good. This is really interesting because none of you are going to look into the Hive or Lord Skurlock, which is the two highest ranking members here, because I don't know, y'all afraid?
Yes.
Yes.
My thought about the Hive is that we're already in good with them to some degree, so it's like, not that we wouldn't need more to push them over the edge with actually helping us with funding and whatever else, but I don't know. It seems like we don't need their help as much because we might already get some.
We feel okay
desperately
about
want to talk to Skurlock, but Crow is terrified.
Really?
Mort,
So
Mort just saw pit fighting and was like, I could do that.
Yeah, I saw casino, and realistically, it's because of where the attention went at first. So
yeah, right.
Less about priorities. Well, different priorities.
Why don't we start with the casino then, and a little bit of gathering information. So tell me, Parker, how are you as Asher gathering information at the casino? What skill are you using here?
Yeah.
It's time to start rolling dice.
I know, it's time to do that. How we will be going about doing this is, much to Asher's dismay, we're gonna go to the casino, which Asher thinks is a great idea until they step in the casino and realize, wait, no, crap, we want to gamble and not collect information, which is not what we're here for. And so we are instead going to relegate ourselves to the bar and try to make friends and consort with other people. Consort is where I'm aiming to put this, but try to talk to other people about management, about Helene, about any, see if I can get anybody who's worked with her directly, what she likes, what she enjoys, how to not piss her off, and start to work through that through the employees. But there's like a constant twinge of, but I could go gamble, the entire time.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a consort roll. It's the whole thing is it's risky standard across the board because this is just a gathering of information roll. In terms of bonus die, I'm going to give you a bonus die because you are a frequent hurter here. This is your realm. This is your area. So I'll give you a bonus die. Now the question is, do you want to push yourself or do a devil's bargain for an extra one?
I'm actually going to push myself. We'll save the devil's bargains for the party because I feel like that's where all the fun ones are going to come in.
All right, take 2 stress.
Yep.
And
I feel like I don't need to go invisible this session. Well, maybe actually, who knows on this one. But I will take that. 2 bonus dice. Let's try for something good.
Hey.
That is a 5. All right. So with 5 in gathering information, you managed to get a good amount of information. Helene, as an individual, is one of those. She prides herself as being a self-made woman. She started in the dirt, in the streets, built her way up by ruthlessly undercutting her competition and climbing her way to the top to build a casino empire. She is a madame in every sense and way of the word. She is that when you see her, she's like she's like a poster for the Gilded Age. Like she's a beautiful mid-40s woman, usually very well dressed with like a breakfast at Tiffany's smoking pipe, hair done up, simple jewelry and makeup, but even though it's done, it's not overdone, but it's always of the highest quality, kind of a thing. And she is the kind of individual who commands respect. You learn for this that she is not the kind of individual who she doesn't tolerate suck-ups, even a little bit. She doesn't tolerate, and she does not tolerate mismanaged flattery and unearned praise, kind of a thing. And she is one of the few people in Duskfall who puts value and respect on her employees.
Hey, we love it.
This is a woman after Asher's heart. This is dangerous for multiple reasons, but excellent.
But she's that kind of what's the best way to describe her? Like in terms of no, there isn't a better word. She's a MILF.
Perfect. Very much Asher's type. Love this.
Congratulations, Asher.
And you know, she's known for she's not above gambling at her own tables, but because of that, she tends to roll in the high rollers tables. So she has a lot of close connections with very wealthy individuals throughout all of Duskfall.
Don't screw up. Got it. Okay.
Mort.
Yeah.
How are you going about doing this?
So I think I'm imagining maybe there's I'm gonna go in at night when I know that there's a human fight going on, that maybe they're looking for slots to fill. And I think I'm gonna try and go sort of skip a challenge on I'm thinking maybe they have some champions sort of tiered up where they're gonna start with like somebody who's won a couple fights and then they'll move on to the higher, more experienced fighters. And I kind of want to go in and go up to whoever's like taking names. I'm like, I don't want to fight. I don't need to fight this guy. I'm going to the next. I'm starting here because I don't need to waste my time with this fight, basically.
Right. Okay. So would you call that skirmish?
Since
you're going into the ring, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So when it comes to the actual fighting, I think because of the quirk I picked up, I'm going all out, just throwing my body against the wall for a wreck situation. In
Wreck.
terms of getting someone to actually let me, like, in order to
Okay.
get them to take me as a newcomer and sort of jump the line to fight the next hardest person in line, might be something else. I don't know. I'll let you rule that however you want.
Okay, let's do a rec roll. Give me
Okay.
a rec roll. Risky standard. I'm gonna give you an opportunity for a bonus die here. It's not a devil's bargain. It's just an
Okay.
opportunity for a devil's bargain. If you bring Marlene with you. Marlene is your
Interesting.
friend who runs her own fighting ring,
Yeah.
is the thing.
I think maybe it would make sense to me that Marlene would just want to come. I feel like I would have mentioned that this was my plan, like while I was sweeping up the boxing gym, and maybe she just had an interest in joining me. So yeah, absolutely, I'll take that.
All right, give yourself a bonus die as you are going into doubles fight night.
Let's do it. You and
All
me,
right.
we can take this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's unfortunate. So that is a 1, a 2, and a 3. That is unfortunately a kind of a failure. But luckily, this is a gathering information roll. There's not a ton of consequence that comes with this, other than the fact that you don't get as much information as you would have liked.
Right.
The fight doesn't go great, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Is the thing. At least to start, is the thing. But here's the thing, Mort. As you're kind of in that fight, you get paired up against someone. It's not that you're unskilled in a fight. It's just that the person you're up against, this is what they do for a living. This is how they make their money. And they know the tricks on how to deal with someone like you who's used to relying on their strength, kind of a thing. Yeah. Even your military background and your training, they seem to have ways to get around as you're in the ring with Marlene. Ultimately, the fight ends up turning in your favor. But the fight ends up turning in your favor as you get knocked to the back of the ring and something inside you snaps for a moment. And as it does, not physically, in the back of your mind, something snaps. And you hear that echoing laugh of a seven-eyed demon in the back of your head. And for anyone who saw a quick moment, Mort's eyes flash red and light streaks. And then it is not a matter of physically fighting. It is a matter of a beast. For just a split second, a beast versus a man as you rip into this guy with the strength of a bull and throw him physically out of the ring, leaving yourself heaving. Unfortunately, throwing him out of the ring was actually a disqualification because the point was to knock him down, and you end up, unfortunately, being disqualified and not getting as much information as you wanted.
That's perfect. Honestly, I couldn't have come up with a better scene. That's perfect.
Okay. Crow, you were gonna go see Mother Narya?
Yes, but I think
Oh, I don't know why. I thought you were going to go visit Skurlock.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I thought that.
No, I, Rue, want to go visit Skurlock. Crow would rather die than willingly go visit Skurlock.
Okay, no. Mother Narya is a great person. You'll love them. You'll love them.
If you want to go see Skurlock, I can have Crow go see the crows, if you'd rather do that.
Nah, I think we'll be fine not talking to Skurlock.
Okay.
I want to keep that in suspense.
Okay.
We'll burn that bridge when we get there, basically.
Oh, we're burning it immediately. I can't wait. But yeah, then yes, Crow is going to go to is it the Weeping Maiden? Is that what it's called?
Weeping Lady.
The Weeping Lady. House of the Weeping Lady. It is a church over in the Six Towers. So the House of the Weeping Lady, you know on a basis, actually just from talking to Wax, who visits the House of the Weeping Lady in his own time, that it is a house of succor for people who are in seek of remembering those they've lost, largely. And oftentimes, as is sometimes the case, there is a tendency for those that have been lost to drift their way back there occasionally as ghosts. Just that's how the energy of Duskfall flows sometimes. So they are well equipped for dealing with the supernatural and granting safe haven and succor to individuals through basically any means necessary. They are not there to judge. They are there to help people get over their grief.
I think I would like to sort of go and sit like quietly in one of the like alcoves or what the church has. And rather than like, I'm not going to listen into anyone's personal conversations because that is not my business. I think I would like to like try and reach out to the ghosts and the spirits that find their home here and ask them what they think of Mother Naya.
Okay. I would call that an attune roll.
Risky standard, yeah?
Risky standard. Do you want to push yourself or a devil's bargain for a bonus die?
I'm still pretty stressed from last time, so maybe not.
Okay,
I think I will need that later.
You're fine.
Oh, okay. A 4 is fine.
4. 4 is good. All right. So, you with a 4. Oh, this will be funny. I like this. All right. So with a 4, you kind of go, I'd say, to the bottom level of the Weeping Lady, the Church of the Weeping Lady, and kind of attune to the walls, start pulling on various spirits and the like. And as you start compelling into the ghost field to compel someone to appear, there's an amalgamation that begins to come into view. And at first, it appears like a young man covered in burns, and he's kind of just starting to come into view. And then he kind of disappears and flickers out, and he replaced, you hear a somewhat familiar voice. What do you call me for again? The hell? As Rick, the Iron Hook ghost, comes into the basement of Mother Naria's.
Well, I did not expect to disturb you again. I'm very sorry, Rick. You look well.
Yeah. I'm dead. I can't look like anything.
Well, you look better than some, if that makes you feel better.
Kind of looks down at himself. I died to 3 shivs in the chest that are still bleeding for all eternity. I'm haggard from all the smoking that I did in my life, and my voice sounds like I put it through a fucking grinder. So, I don't know if that's your type, but...
You, I think, would be surprised at what my type might be.
Oh, no, actually, I've heard what your type is. Yeah.
Well, I suppose news does travel, huh?
You know, it's more of a see, hear everything. Ghosts, like, we don't got anything better to do than gossip and scare the shit out of people, so.
This may sound strange, but I do look forward to the day when I get to do that also.
It is a bit strange, but to each their own, I guess.
Anyway.
I help
I'm
you?
sorry. Yes, I am sorry again for bothering you. I did want to ask, since you have, it seems, come to rest here, what do you think of the lady of the house, Mother Naya?
Oh, the mother?
Hmm.
She's great. Great. Wonderful old woman, does a lot for people around here. She's kind of that, she's in a lot of ways, she's come to represent comfort to people. Now, on her own time, she's a bit of a wild woman, let me tell you. But, that's her own thing. But she does, sometimes she likes to mask up, go into the city and get her pleasure elsewhere. And occasionally, not overindulgent, but she's got a tendency to, some of the stuff they offer here for those seeking relief, she's got a tendency to sometimes dip into her own stock, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear that from me, though.
Oh, of course not. I would never tell your secrets.
Right. Yeah.
I am
You're
glad
safe
that
with
you
me, honey.
No one really asks me for secrets. I can't understand why. But I am glad that you are doing better here. Perhaps I will come and see you more often.
I wouldn't say no, but keep busy, as they say. Heard about that bit y'all did on Ironhook. Hope that my words were a bit of a boon there.
Indeed. We would not have gotten in if you had not told us how to get in via the furnace, so I do appreciate that. We took a ghost door out, which I'm sure you felt.
Mm-hmm.
Not my best work.
No. That thing rippled across the entire city. Whew. If it hadn't been an Ironhook, I might have joined in myself. It's a bit of fun, but I won't go back to that fucking place. I spent a good bit of my life there.
Don't want to be there afterwards either, yeah? Well, it has meant I have a little more company than I usually do these days, but I can deal with it. As you say, ghosts have nothing better to do than sit and listen and scare people, so...
Yeah. Except for the ones, that get a bit uppity, start, sucking souls, taking over bodies, and have their own agendas. Kind of boring, if you ask me. Not really to the point, but,
Well, I'm glad that I don't have to worry about that from you, if you think it is so boring.
Gross, honestly. I spent 80 years in a meat suit. I don't have to do that again.
Oh, meat suit. Yeah, I guess that is all this is. You've given me a lot to think about. Thank you.
I'm an insightful old bitch, don't you know?
They say that the wisdom can come from the strangest of places.
Anyway, see you around, Crow.
Have a good rest of your time until I see you next.
And that's kind of the majority of the information you get on Mother Naria. And last but not least, Wax.
Yeah.
You are going to look into Lissa and the crows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have I ever ran into them with my history at all? Just out of curiosity.
Not
What do you think?
so much. Not unless you'd chosen to spend a lot of time around Crowsfoot is the thing. The crows have spent the last 2 years fighting a turf war with the Lampblacks and the Red Sashes to keep control over Crowsfoot, and have really only just recently re-solidified their control over the region.
Okay. Another thought. Do I know how the hive would feel about the crows at all?
That is a thing that you're going to have to figure out based on your information that
Cool.
you can gather.
So I think this is with their gambling dens and the extortion rackets, I think it's like going to various people around the dock, specifically catching up with some old friends, talking about, I hear the crows are moving in on this warehouse or doing this or that. I hear, I've heard they've been trying to kind of elbow people out of certain areas and try to get a better vibe. There's some people who are more and more agitated over that. Maybe get some names from that.
So a consort roll.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. All right. Are you going to push yourself? Take a devil's bargain?
Nah, I'm okay just like getting the 1.
All right. Just doing the 1.
Yeah.
Just doing the 1.
Just doing the 1,
Feeling conservative today.
I know. I'm going to just like ease into it today.
All right. Okay. That is a 3, which isn't great, unfortunately, for you. You kind of... Here's what I'll give you, because I think this is the most prominent piece of information that would not get lost in the wake. The one piece of information that you get from talking around, Archie has fucked up again. The reason that Archie has fucked up again, it's not entirely Archie's fault, is the thing. But Jeremiah and Lissa hate each other. The leader of the Hive and the leader of the Crows hate each other. And the reason for this is because Jeremiah used to be in an intimate relationship with Rorik, the former leader of the Crows, who was killed by Lissa as his second command to take control.
Interesting. Guys, I got some good news and bad news. The good news is we're going to become the fan favorites of the Hive. The bad news is we're going to be at war with another gang soon.
I'm sorry, what?
That is a lot to unpack.
The one war was kind of a lot to handle in the first place.
It's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing, by the way. Goldie has not forgotten, and neither has my body.
Look, y'all, let's be honest. The Foghounds don't like you. And they really don't like you now that Bear is dead.
Look, we tried.
Did we? I feel like we didn't.
No, I tried. I'm not gonna take that one. I tried. All right.
To be fair. Anyways, maybe Bear shouldn't have wandered while we were busy doing work and try to interfere.
Sure.
Maybe he shouldn't have fucked around.
And find out.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially if Lissa shows up, we can either kick the Crows out, make a scene, lose all our investments, or if we can meet with Jiraiya beforehand and say the Crows might show up, how do you want them handled?
Ooh.
Okay. I'm gonna make this a question, a querent for you. Is that a scene you want to handle before the party? Do you want to attempt to get in contact with Jeremiah or any other member of the Hive to talk about that?
I'll pitch it to the group. Do y'all want me to try and make our way? Because it sounds like, one, we also need to talk to Archie and get him a relationship web of all the relationships along this.
Not even a web. It just, as long as there's pictures involved, I think he can keep track of it then.
Yeah.
I think we might just need to make a list that is like, if these people are here, these people can't be.
Should maybe just start monitoring everything. Like, we should probably babysit Archie. Truth be told.
Let's be fair to Archie. The leader of the Hive did technically invite herself.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like to pick on Archie.
This is Crow's coping mechanism.
I think, if possible, if we want to maintain good favors with the Hive, if you're able to, it might be worthwhile to figure out how they would prefer to see this go down, or if they're willing to play nice, and then we just get Mort to, you know, kindly remind the crows as they come in that they have to be on their best behavior or else. So, I don't know, something along those lines.
Or if we, yeah, that's true. If we're trying to avoid bad favor with anybody, because obviously a pretty vicious option would be to try and make a kind of a big deal about rejecting Lissa from the party. So much so that Jaimie would see it and take note.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Obviously if we're trying to avoid any more negatives than we already have, then that's not a great plan.
But I think if you're able to get any information in advance, I think that's probably going to be the safest for our pre-preparation of this entire shindig.
Yeah.
It will also let Jaimie know in advance that it might happen, as opposed to being surprised in the moment.
Exactly.
There is, of course, always the chance that she will be upset that we are telling her, but I think maybe it is better to be upset that you are told something than upset that you were not told something.
To be fair, she did kind of come in unannounced, and unless Archie sent everyone out the invitation list, I don't think Lissa would know either.
Might be good to, I mean, this person from the hive already feels like they can sort of they feel like a very important person when it comes to us already. So if we want their favor in a big way, it might be better to just lean into that.
Yeah, they have a lot of resources readily available, and if we can make Murmur sound like it's the next up and coming thing with a higher return than what Pyro could have, we basically have like the best network to reach out through.
Yeah.
Do we know?
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what the relationship between the gondoliers and the crows is? Because we could reach out to the gondoliers, since we have favor with them, and see if there's any way that they could like maybe sabotage Lissa's route to the party so that she just doesn't end up getting there.
That's another
and
option.
We're not involved.
I was just gonna say, Tristaro, if you get asked as to why Jaimie didn't get an invitation, I just, point that towards the purveyor. Maybe not directly to Archie, but we can maybe just go in prepared to answer that question as to why.
Yeah, for sure.
So, for sake of working this out, do we want to run that scene where someone goes to talk to Jera and kind of tries to forewarn, or are we just gonna let it lie and see what happens at the party?
I'm voting for forewarn.
Yeah, I think that's better than nothing. Yeah. For sure.
And also we can kind of get a hint of what the hive's intent is with us.
Yeah.
Because there's the off chance that some of their people do push Pyro and may not be interested in what we're trying to bring to the streets.
All right. So let's do that. Who all is going to see Jera? I assume Tristaro, but otherwise, who else wants to go?
Oh, I would go.
All right. Mort is going along. Anyone else?
Yeah. I think we might go all together.
Are we all going?
I think we're all going.
Field trip.
I think what happens is Tristaro and Mort say that they are going, and Crow makes eye contact with Asha and is like, we can't let them do this again.
No, we can't. We need to take care of them. We know what happened the last time. They're not allowed by themselves really anymore. So yeah, let's go. We got it. We can go.
I mean, we can really do. I mean, I think we're. If you don't want to
Mort,
come and you want to do something else,
dear. You and Tristaro unfortunately have a. I get worried about you too when you're off on your own.
Also, maybe we just like spending time with you.
Yeah.
I
am not lying. I do like spending time with you, Mort.
I do too, but
really
I'm
nice.
just also worried.
It's very kind.
I mean, I think it's really nice that we can show a united front in this, and also keep in mind we are meeting with one of the largest criminal organizations inside the city of Dustfall, and none of us could appear again.
Tristaro, I don't think your head can afford to be incurring any more concussions. Or any parts of your body to incur any more bruises, really, realistically at this point, so...
If I remember, everyone's nicely healed up now, right? Like, no one's injured anymore. You all got treated by the doctor and
I
everything.
feel weird
actually-
telling you yes.
Good, good.
Good.
So, let's advance our way into the hive. You're actually escorted through one of the premier warehouses of the hive. Obviously, it's a front. It's not actually called, this is the hive headquarters. No, this is it's a furniture manufacturing firm, technically, is the area that you're being brought through. However, you are escorted to an office that is hidden away in the back. Entering the office itself, there is an Eruvian woman of dark skin and wider features with very bright, vibrant purple eyes. She is standing there. She is in a perfectly tailored suit that not only imparts sophistication, but also shows the lithe musculature with which she is working. A woman who is in equal parts formidable in business as she is in the field of battle. She's not looking at you as you enter. Rather, she's staring at a painting on the wall behind her desk. On the desk itself, you can see a pen, some various implements, as well as a gilded invitation to your party. However, the invitation is not directed at her. It is directed as for a representative of the hive. The assumption here being that Archie wanted to extend an invitation for someone from the hive to come as a courtesy and a formality and as a good idea, and that it was Jera herself who elected to come as the representative.
So he did invite her.
Real quick, out of character question: did Archie actually release the guest list? Out of just so we know.
To everyone, no. No,
Okay,
only
good.
you have the guest list.
Oh, thank God. I think Wax is just going to. Is it just us and her and the entire crew just like standing there while she's looking at the painting?
Yes, it is technically only y'all and her, with some muscle just outside the door.
Just real chaotic part of my brain immediately went, all right, we hit her. No. So I think Wax is going to play this kind of calm and cool and wait until everyone gets acknowledged, or until one of us gets acknowledged.
After a moment, her head turns. Associates from, what was it? The Ventures. Didn't expect to hear or see you until your shindig this evening.
Of course. And pardon the late introductions, I am referred to as Wax. These are the other members of the Venture Project. This is Mouth, Spectre, and Crow. And we decided to be respectful and in the right mind to let you know some information that we think would pertain to your interests about the upcoming event.
Do tell.
It was recently brought to our attention that a member of a faction that you have transgressions against, the Crows, will arrive at that party. And my associates and I discussed, and we talked about, and we felt it was only fair to let you know, and then ask, how would you like this to be handled? We recognize that you have a variety of resources, and in our line of work, what Lissa has done is very disrespectful, and we want to help out with making it right, or at least giving you an opportunity to handle that in which way you would like.
She turns from the desk and walks around to you, Wax, and lifts your chin with a finger. You're cute. Adorable, she says, poking your nose. To think that a well-maintained hive doesn't have plenty of information on its own. Your guest list isn't exactly well hidden, to say the least. I'm aware who's going to be at your party. Well aware, in fact. I appreciate the courtesy, though. And let me tell you this. I know how to handle myself with decorum. I won't be engaging or starting any fights, I guess is the best word, while doing business. But I am equally ready and willing to defend myself should anyone turn. The only thing I ask, should anything happen, is you back our play. If you want to be a friend of the hive, and not simply the carrion from which we make our honey, then please.
Understood. I'll be more than happy to offer my assistance and ensure that you have an absolutely nothing less than spectacular evening.
Brilliant. She turns and seats herself at the desk. Then you can go, and I'll see you tonight.
See you tonight.
Oh, as you're walking out, she says. And, what's the name? Crow, was it?
Yes.
Be careful.
Thank you. I will watch my step.
Can I do a quick study roll to see if that's a malintent, like, Crow, we're gonna come at you, or Crow, Lord Skurlock is gonna come at you?
Well, I'll give you the option. Do you want to do a study roll, or do you want to just ask Crow?
Devious Mastermind Spy. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do a roll. I'm pushing the dice.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead. Give me a study roll.
I'm gonna add +1 because whoop. Hey, I got
That
a
is
6.
6.
Hey.
There you go.
Mhm.
That was very much that was a friendly warning. That was not a we are not threatening you. We're telling you to be careful because there is a threat on the horizon for you. We are being kind in this manner.
Mhm.
Kind of situation. The hive likes you for all the the hive looks on you the same way that a noble looks on a teacup poodle. You're an adorable pet.
I'll take it. That's fine.
It's better than a lot of people feel about us.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know?
Yeah, actually looking at our faction list. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Anyway, so with that kind of said and done, we're going to go ahead and step into the evening of the party. And you've noticed that I have not yet asked for an engagement roll. And I am not going to ask for an engagement roll. You will know when I do.
Okay.
The evening of the party arrives. The guests wander and meander in. And there is a sense of anticipation lingering in the air. There's that feeling of something new and electric. Minds and eyes are on this. This is a moment that can make or break a gang forever. What's on the line here is not just future investments and money, but your very reputation. And in terms of a job, I will now explain how this is going to work. Y'all aren't getting paid for this in a sense of no one's paying you to do this job. No one's offering coin. It's not like breaking into Iron Hook where Echo comes up and is like, I'm going to give you 10 coin if you can manage this job off, kind of a thing. No, what is on the line is your reputation, quite literally. On top of the base reputation that you will get for undergoing this endeavor, which at a base reputation, you'll get 3, just so you know. That's basically what you're at. You're going to get a base of 3 reputation. For every individual in here, every faction that you manage to please, it will be an additional 1 reputation for you. So, Mother Narya, Nessa of the Grey Cloaks, Lissa of the Crows, Helene of the Silver Stag, that's 4 right there. Additionally, the Hive and Skurlock are each worth 2. So that's a total of 8 reputation on the line here for you. And that's not counting the 3 you have as base, which means 11 is technically on the line.
Mm-hmm. To let the chat know, we have already maxed out our current reputation.
No, you're 4 short.
Oh,
For-
4 short?
You're 4 short.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was turf. Whoops.
Nope.
Okay, well.
Nope. You are 4 short for your next to get to a tier 1 with 11 reputation. That'd be 4 in, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You would be almost back to the level you're at now to getting to a strong tier 1.
Goodness.
God.
It would basically be a full level of reputation is on the line here.
Wow.
Now, that said, you're going to have to be cunning and coy and playing sides here of making people happy, kind of a thing, because not everyone here likes each other. And in fact, there is a social dichotomy, and there's an individual here who doesn't like one of your number. So play it kind, play it smart, and play it well. Mort, you're running the door. You're making the first impression as everyone arrives. What kind of an impression are you making? What is the aura that you're trying to give off?
I think Mort being given all the information that we had received through all our different scenes, I think is just trying to go pretty much no bullshit, just checking the list, making sure that people are on the list and admitting them. And for these specific 6 people is specifically not asking for their names and just admitting them through, but like is making sure that they know how this is going, but just as a very small nod when they come in to make sure that we know who they are and they don't need to worry that they are safe and accepted here, and that they know that there is strong security presence.
Okay. What skill are you using to convey that?
Could I did we talk to Archie in regards to other security? Like, we had all of the event stuff planned, but was security part of that? Like, do I have other people to sort of
Yes.
command here is what I'm trying to go for.
Yes. So it's not just a matter of other security is the thing. You as a gang aren't just you four is the thing you should know. Is as a gang,
Yes.
you have a few more members, unnamed, unchecked. We've talked about this before, kind of a thing that it's not all just you. There's other individuals that are around. It's not a large gang. You probably max out at about 8 right now, honestly, like yourselves doubled over. But you could be drawing on that. You could be drawing on that. Additionally, here's a thing. You could spend the downtime that you have for the end of the session now to acquire a cohort. A cohort being individuals who serve you as at a gang sense, as kind of back your play as security. That would be up to you, Mort. But at a base level, you have about 3 or 4 individuals that you can command right now, just to make an intimidating presence.
Would you think that command would make more sense, or would survey make more sense for what I'm trying to do?
For what you're trying to impart, given that you're trying to not survey is more overlooking things, whereas command is imposing kind of a will. And I think with that is that you're trying to convey a certain kind of aura. I would go with command.
I think so too. Okay. Right. Let's do that. And I don't think I don't think I need to spend the downtime early to get that. I think this is good enough. And
again, we're still at a very base level where this is risky standard. Okay. I'm going to note again, I have not asked for an engagement roll, because again, you'll understand why here soon. So risky standard, you have 1 die. Do you want to push yourself? Devil's bargain?
I think I do want to. I think I do want to push myself.
Okay.
For an extra die.
All right, so take 2 stress, and then you get an extra die. Now, the other question is, do you want to trade position for effect? Put yourself in a desperate position for a great effect. The consequences there being in this kind of social situation that if you fuck up on a desperate position, you're leaving a bad impression.
Right.
To start. You will be starting on a bad foot.
I think I'm gonna leave it with the taking stress. I think I'm just gonna leave it at a regular.
All right, risky standard.
Success. Yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me a command roll then.
All right. Oh, thank goodness.
It is a 6. Woo. Okay. Mort, there's a certain air of quiet intimidation that you always carry. Now, for people like Archie, it's terrifying. You know, it's overbearing to the sense of that you are this muscular individual. But for people who are in the know, on the streets, and live in this world like you do, your presence is conveying a sense of elegance and security, that this is a well-monitored event that is meant for business, that this isn't going to be some raucous fight affair, that this isn't going to be some kind of cutthroat kind of thing. Everyone here is a criminal. Everyone here has got blood and mud on their hands. Mm-hmm. But even criminals know when to put away the knives and take out the pens. As the guests filter in, we're going to start with Tristaro. Tristaro, who are you going to wander your way over to in order to talk? With a note, I will say that Lord Scarlock has not yet arrived.
Oh, thank God. I think I'm going to make the first impression on a person Tristaro has like an actual background with and have seen and talked to before, and goes over to Mother Narya just to talk to her, welcome her to the party, and thank her for helping me get situated over at the Weeping Lady and taking care of Lim's grave, all that kind of stuff.
Mr. Valentine, It is a pleasure to see you here. I didn't expect an individual of such refinement to be here, but I am pleased to see our lonely grave tender.
It's because I've been your lonely grave tender. I've been able to meet others who are with grief that I've been able to be part of such an important project that I'm very excited to introduce to you tonight.
Yes, I am excited and deeply curious to see if your product is something that will help bring joy and motivation back to those who have fallen in darkness and need help pushing themselves and their motivations back to finding their place back in the world.
Yeah, that ultimately that is the end goal with this product. Is it is when you are grieving or when you are struggling, it makes it a lot harder to find that energy to come back out and to get back into a habit and to find what makes you joyful again. And as I said before, that's the goal of this project. That's the goal of having you being one of the most kind and caring people I know show up along with everyone else.
You speak from personal experience. I know.
Mm-hmm. I need to be certain this. It's very important to me that you've shown up, and I'm so happy to have you here.
And it is a pleasure to be here to support you, young Mr. Valentine, and your companions.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about your product and what it is you're hoping to achieve here?
Of course. So Murmur started with a feeling. When you think about some of your better successes in life, some of those like actual peak achievements you've ever been able to covet and be able to claim as your own, how did that feel to you? Does it feel as strong as it would if you thought about it now compared to when you first experienced that?
It reminds me of the founding of the church, of course, and every person that I get to help, and when I see the light return to their eyes.
Mm-hmm. And that light that you see in their eyes, sometimes it's hard to stay on that path and keep that light with you. Murmur is a product that isn't meant to replace that light, but to at least keep it burning a little longer until you can sustain it yourself. It brings back that euphoric feeling of that great achievement for that very first time. For some, it is being able to pass a lecture for the first time, pass a oral exam for the first time in flying colors. Others, it's a great feat of strength. Some, it is being able to get that courage to tell the one you love how important they are to you.
All right, Wax, I'm going to need a sway roll from you.
Yep. This is very important to Wax. I'm going to push myself again.
All right, I'm going to take some more stress. Wax is already halfway to another quirk.
I'm only halfway there.
All right. So give me, yep. So, and then you are still in a risky standard. If you want to press your advantage for Desperate Great, you can also, yeah.
I don't think I'm going to trade that position just because I do know Mother Narya, and I think, she probably knows a little bit about what's been going on, and I'm trying to keep it like polite because we're in a public setting. Whereas if we were back at the Weeping Lady, this would be more of a confessional versus I'm trying to sell you something. Take it.
Yeah. And Devil's Bargain on the table for you is that you get a bonus die, but from here on out, Mother Narya will always see you as a salesperson first and not as the lonely gravekeeper.
Yeah, fuck it, that's fine. Listen, people change, and I'm rolling. Hey, I got a 6.
Yeah,
that is a
First die. I
6.
didn't push myself. A 6, 4, 2.
Mother Naya's nodding along. She seems deeply endeavored, and the way you speak about bringing that spark back to people and helping them sustain it, you can see that you've captured her interest, at least for the moment. And you can tell that her eyes are going to be on you potentially for the rest of this party to see how you handle yourself and the people around you. Asher. The party has begun. What are you doing?
Constantly readjusting my outfit. I am definitely seeing if Helene has shown up yet, and if so, that'll be where I not necessarily make a beeline, but would try to arrange myself to be nearby at some juncture.
She has arrived with her own entourage in tow, a variety of well-to-do pleasure seekers and the likes. So you're trying to kind of hang around her. As you're kind of hanging around her, she does spot you. She does recognize you as the frequenter of the
Oh
hotel.
God, I'm a regular.
And she kind of approaches you. Ah, ma petit valou, which means my little thief. I did not expect to see you here.
Well, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. I feel like I spend so much time in your home, and yet I never get the opportunity to be graced with your presence.
You flatter me, of course.
It's earned, though. You've built up quite the establishment. I have never been somewhere where the staff don't want to kill their boss as much as it is in Silver Stag. Typically, most people tend to loathe their place of employment. However, they seem to have a great deal of respect for you, and you right to them as well. I admire it.
Now that is fine praise indeed, ma petite. Join me for a drink, wouldn't you?
It would be my pleasure.
And tell me a little bit about your endeavors here and what it is you mean to do. Why my time and effort is worth the investment.
Well, we would only bring you here if it was going to be worth your while. Trust me, we are not here to waste your valuable time at all. Now, Murmur, not sure what you've heard about it, but I'm sure you know as well as I do that absolute thrill from a big payoff, from a good win, from a good hand. When the dice
I count on it for my customers.
And I count on it for, well, actually, it's all about the risk for me. The risk is really the fun part, but so many of us thrive on that. How would you say? The je ne sais quoi? When you win. The absolute thrill. Now imagine a drug that helps you feel that. It's basically what we do. Murmur helps give you that high again, that optimal moment in your life. If for some people it is, you know, love, it is some good thing that has happened to you, a promotion, any of those pieces, that absolute bliss, that joy, that thrill. For me, it is always one of two things. It's either a particularly risky gamble paying off, or the attention of a particularly beautiful woman. Sometimes that's actually both, but you know,
give me a sway roll.
Okay.
And so you have 1 die in sway.
I do.
Would you like to take 2 stress to push yourself for an additional die, or take a devil's bargain?
What's the devil's bargain in this one?
So the devil's bargain, in this case, for you, is that from here on out, you are a person on Helene's watch list to the extent that when you go to gamble for your vice, you will always be invited to the higher end tables, so you will always have to be to some level on your best behavior and playing kind of the tables more and the people more than the gamble.
Oh, we're in.
All right, so give yourself a bonus die. You are again at a risky standard.
Mm-hmm.
You can trade that to desperate great if you like.
Can I give you another bonus die?
Are you gonna help?
Would you like another bonus die at all?
Yes.
Excellent. On the tables nearby, a server comes by holding a bottle of Helene's favorite drink that has 2 glasses on it.
Yes, take a stress and take a stress and give yourself a 3rd bonus die. Now, are you going to go risky standard, or are you going to trade position for effect and go desperate great?
Oh. Desperate great means that it'll have a greater impact if it's successful, correct? It also stands to be a stronger
failure if you fail. You also, for a desperate position, you do get an experience point, remember?
I know. Yeah. I'm going to attempt to take Tristaro's title.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to increase for effect. So that becomes
desperate great, 3 dice.
And I've got 2 bonus die, correct? Yes.
Yes, you have 2 bonus die. Go ahead and give me a roll.
Yes.
That is a 6.
Yes! Thank you, Tristaro, so much.
With a desperate great position. So as the drinks come over, she swirls the drink for a moment as you're kind of relaying this and sipping on your own drink, telling her this. She leans in so that her lips are a centimeter from yours. Her chest is just above you as she leans down. Well, I do love to play a good risk every now and again. Perhaps we can make a deal. Ma petit voleur. You should come by my office. We can talk more business in the future.
Delightful. I most certainly will. And just goes to clink glasses as it cheers.
That is a very good position y'all are in so far, with a command roll 6 from Mort, a sway roll of 6 from Tristaro, and a sway roll of 6 from Asher. At this point, Mort, you feel a chill run down your spine as the door opens but is not opened by anyone. And stepping into the room is a tall, dark-haired, pale-skinned, handsome individual with a regal bearing. His eyes burn like amber, and you feel like the bug caught in it. His stance is so rigid that you think you could post a sail on him and move a ship. And his bearing of such nobility that even those of you with a background in the fashionable and noble feel like peasants. This is Lord Skurlock. He does not look at you, Mort. He pays you very little mind as he passes through. And indeed, as he does, you do not hear his footsteps, as he does not seem to make them.
I think as this presence begins to pass by, I'm just going to remove my hat, comb, and just stand at attention as they pass.
For a moment, all eyes are on Lord Skurlock as he projects his way across the hall. You see him take measure as a servant who is frankly frozen in place in either awe or fear. He reaches over and takes a glass from the one just standing there, regardless of who it was for, and then pads his way over to Crow. Crow.
Sorry, my mic was off. Good evening.
He looks around the room. I wouldn't have imagined such pleasantries to be your mind and wheelhouse.
Sometimes we have to do things that we don't enjoy for the good of a group.
Yes, well, in terms of enjoyment, I suppose there is less velvet and chains than I remember you preferring.
Apparently those are not suitable for a party of this caliber, as I am told.
Or party, it doesn't include either, but to see you making an effort, perhaps, is a rare thing.
Well, I knew who would be here tonight, and I wanted to be certain that all parties involved, yourself included, know that we are very serious about the work we are doing and willing to make concessions to get things done.
Crow, I'm going to need a roll from you. The roll here is not to convince Skurlock of anything. The roll you're making here is to diffuse the tension in the room. So tell me how you are doing that and what skill.
I think feasibly Crow would know what Skurlock prefers at a party. Unsure if he drinks regular things or if he only drinks blood, but either way, Crow would have done their best to procure what he prefers. And will, like, from underneath the horrible cult robe that they're wearing to this party, like, show that they have it and say, I know this is not necessarily your scene. Would you rather have this conversation with a few less eyes and ears involved?
Okay. So what kind of role are you making here? What are you trying to... You tell me. Do you think this is more of a command or a sway? Or are you trying to tap into the arcane ghost field and influence him with a tune?
Knowing very well that it's not going to go well for me if it goes poorly, but also that it's the best chance Crow has, I think he is trying to attune.
Okay. So give me an attune roll. You have 2 dice in attune. Are you going to push yourself, or would you like to take a devil's bargain?
I am listening for what your devil's bargain might be.
No matter what happens the rest of the night, Scarlock will not be leaving within 5 feet of you.
I will take that.
Give yourself a bonus die.
What circumstances am I in?
You are in a desperate standard position.
Okay.
I regret to inform you that you are starting from a desperate position with this man. So there is no trading here unless you want to trade a die for effect and go back down to 2 dice for a great effect.
I'll stick with standard. I want as many dice as possible in this roll.
All right. So go ahead, give me a...
I was going to offer aid, but I'm trying to figure out how I can help out with this.
This is the spider. This is what a spider does. I'm helping everyone. I must do everything.
I'm helping. I have to help.
I have to help. Knowing your background, oh God, how can I help? What would you have told Wax about your relationship with Sherlock? Is this just in general?
I don't think Z would have gone into like a lot of detail, but would have mentioned that their relationship was very close, but Crow was not necessarily ready to be involved with everything that Sherlock has going on, and that caused a lot of problems.
What if the aid came from like before the show, just saying on the off chance Sherlock approaches you, because we all know how X's are. This is like here are the tricks. Focus right here on their head. Doesn't matter what they're talking about. Don't betray no emotion. Just be absolutely focused. And remember, as soon as you can, step away. And if you need anything, flag one of us down and we can run interference. I think it's the only thing I can think of, really.
All right.
Thank you for the advice.
Yeah.
Wax, give yourself a stress. Give yourself a bonus die, Crow.
All right, 2 bonus dice. Let's see how this goes. Woo!
666. That is the number of the beast on Lord Sherlock.
Is this our first crit?
That is a critical success.
I don't think we've ever had that.
That is our first critical success in this game. So, with that, Sherlock stares you in the eyes as you offer the drink. And in very similar fashion to Helene earlier, actually, leans towering over you, eyes gazing into yours. Us alone might be dangerous, but I'll stay by your side for now. I'd like to see how you handle yourself. And he takes the drink, and the kind of overwhelming presence that he was conveying to the party seems to almost mitigate, and murmuring and talking picks back up again, and the party seems to continue. With these individuals talked, met, rashed, interacted with, off to the side, you can see Lissa and Jera kind of almost circling like wolves around the party from each other, these two. Wandering, watching, keeping eyes, but never coming close. And in the midst of all of that, we also have Nessa, leader of the Grey Cloaks, who on occasion seems to her eyes flit back to Mort by the door, like she's looking for something. Mort, you're the first one to hear it, though, as you are still keeping watch by the door and handling security. A kind of low rumble. A shake. that you can feel starting in your boots. And at first, you think it's just a passing goat carriage that's wandering on the streets, but then it's getting closer and closer until finally it feels like it is on top of you, and several of the other people in this party have now turned their attention towards Mort and kind of the door. And Mort, as you're just kind of starting to turn to get your bearings and understand what's going on, the door is blasted off its hinges into the center of the party. There is a billow of steam and smoke. Mort, you are thrown back a small ways such that you're not standing directly in the door, able to catch yourself, but now further back as into the party step a handful of individuals, maybe 8 or so, all of them wearing the same mask fashioned from white porcelain with a flame motif up the side. All of them immaculately dressed in firefighter's garb. And the leader coming in sparks a hand, and the hand is filled with flame. Sorry to crash the party, but we heard there were some interesting times and individuals to be had here. And that's where we're going to take our break and come back to an engagement roll.
Oh my god.
Oh.
So we will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Everyone throw your any more donations at our justice. We'll be running the rest of the giveaways. I think we have, is it one more? Do we have one more or 2 more?
One more.
Okay, so we got one more giveaway for the hard copy of Blades in the Dark. Congratulations to everyone who's won the giveaways so far. And we will see y'all in a couple of minutes.
Bye. See you in a minute.
Hello. And we're back, and in something of a tense situation. This entire party has been set up for our scoundrels to get in, make connections in high society, and start moving and shaking their product out into the world. And they're doing a good job of that. However, in fact, they've been doing exceptionally, commanding the room and like playing people off each other and really, for lack of a better word, schmoozing it up with the various members of society. And we've had a crit success and 6s across the board, but now the door has been blasted off its hinges, and a gang of pyros in firefighter garbs and porcelain masks with a flame motif have entered the scene. And now it is time for the engagement roll, because we are going to be deciding how our scoundrels will be handling this situation. As a reminder, the general plans and engagement, the plans of engagement as they exist are assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, and transport. I'm knocking transport off that list. That's not happening.
Yeah.
But what are y'all thinking? What's the play?
I personally think so. I think Wax would have made the case, like, at some point, people who are very big fans of Pyro are gonna come in and cause a ruckus, whether they're one of the guests invited or some people who decide they want to show up. We should prepare for that and, you know, like, set up like a plan of attack for that. I can't remember what page that one's on. Okay, there we go. And so I think the big thing here is making sure we have like a sturdy group of people who can cover the door. Archie was nice enough to get us some bodyguards, and of course, Mort, you'll be there to watch the door, which basically means you take point. But just in case, here are some weapons I've hidden around the room.
Okay. So, are we thinking an assault plan? Like, this is just all-out brawl?
I mean, yeah,
Either that or try to find a way to convince them, but I don't think that they're going to be convinced.
I think Mort made made a pretty strong stance in if you're not on the list, then you're not coming in. And he's gonna stand by that stance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's where Mort's at.
All right. Crow.
I don't think we necessarily have the time or means for an occult path out of this. I can't throw them all through a ghost door again.
Not with that attitude.
I do always have the ghost key on me just in case, but I don't know that they would all let us throw them one by one through a ghost door.
Darn.
Oh,
Oops.
I had another thought too. If we want to do this, knowing that something like this would happen, what if we had like a secondary party location? Like we went back to Archie, swung around, said, "Do that exact same setup, but do it at this house, like 2 doors down." And that we can get through the back door in case we need to move people.
That would be a flashback if you were to do that.
Yep.
And to set up something that complex and interesting, you're going to take some stress for that. However, I like the cut of your jib on that. So I'm willing to let it happen, but you will take 2 stress.
Can we? Is there any way for us to split this stress so it's not all on Vax?
I'd say sure. Who's else willing to take that stress on themselves?
What was the setup again?
It's
It'd be like a deception plan. So you know how like in some speakeasies you'd have to give a password, or you'd be taken through one door and then you go through a bookshelf and then you go down the stairs and then you show up at the actual location of the party.
Yeah.
It's like the first party, which is just like a cover. It's basically something like that.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
okay.
That's like how I kind of see it in my head.
Yeah.
I would normally offer to take the stress, but knowing what we're going into, and especially with that in mind, don't think I'll be able to, because I have a feeling Asher is going to be the person that is going, because I am not necessarily good in a fight. I'm squishy. So I'm going to be moving people, which means that invisibility that I said I didn't need earlier, I might now need.
Mm-hmm.
I have regrets.
Yeah.
I'm at 5, so I can afford to split it with you.
If you
Okay.
want to, don't feel pressured to, because also you have to entertain Skurlock a little bit, and also
That
maybe
is
some other
true.
people. I think
Yeah. Are you okay taking both of them then?
I will be fine taking both of them. Don't be surprised if I get my second quirk.
Okay.
And
Trying to
listen,
prevent this.
Right.
We're trying to
Right.
babysit.
So the plan is deception.
Mhm.
And the method of deception here is a secondary location to continue the party in the event that something like this happens. I like it, and that is a good plan. Is this operation? Oh, so you start with 1 die for sheer luck. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? Yes. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors? That's a lot of people to move. That is an entire other setup to maintain. So yes, I'm sorry. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target? The target here effectively being the firebugs, that's the name of this gang, by the way, the firebugs. In this instance, yeah, I would say so, because they've obviously taken an assault plan here. They're not expecting to have to maintain that across and indeed carry to a second location. So I'll give you a bonus die on that. Does the target is strong against this approach or have particular special defenses or preparations? No. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid?
Yeah, I think Anya would be like, fuck, I guess I'll set up another party in the same setup.
I'd say Anya can provide that. However, are any of your rivals or enemies interfering? Yes, you're at
Always.
Seems that way.
That's fine. We got 2 dice. That's all we
war.
need.
The Foghounds have ensured that you are a little short on preserves and rations for food and drink and the like by smuggling and stealing some of the supplies that were meant for you.
Rude.
Oh.
We're gonna have a nice long conversation with them after this.
Are there any other elements that I want to consider that maybe they are a lower tier target to give you a +1 die? No, they are technically a higher tier target, but this is a challenge that I'm setting for you and have sprung on you. I'm not taking away a dice for that. I am taking away a die, however, for the fact that you're about to try to be moving Lissa and Jera in close confines from one location to another.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, it's 1 die for the engagement. Up and down.
Yeah, I think Wax will like try and grab Spectre before they leave and just say, keep Lissa and Jera away from each other, whatever you do.
I'm gonna try to. Oh god.
And anyone they brought with them.
Yeah.
Actually, focus more on Lissa. Other one's fine. They're cool.
Yeah.
Up and down. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, and monsters and scoundrels of the night. That is a 1. That is a failure. We are in a desperate position. Everything is going wrong. Every roll we will be making will be from a desperate stance. These scoundrels will be getting experience points, stress, and probably fucking trauma, and maybe some burns along the way.
He
Back in the trash.
Healed up. Oh.
We've got 8 pyros, the firebugs entering through the door, flames coursing off their arms like firebenders out of Avatar: The Last Airbender, staring you down and advancing on your party. And as they go, the drapes around them are igniting in flame. Bits and baubles of the decoration that Anya so diligently set up here is burning alive around you. How are you responding to this situation? What are you doing? Spectre, you have already said that your job is going to be carting people out of here, making sure everyone gets out of here alive, safe, and specifically keeping Lissa and Jera separated.
Separate, yeah.
So tell me how you're doing that. Tell me how you're going about it.
So I'm assuming we would have established like a backdoor exit. They're like through a kitchen or something like that.
Absolutely.
And so, because I'm making the assumption that this party venue has a kitchen on site for the catering staff. So what I'm doing is going to be starting to, as stealthily as possible, mind you, starting to lead people back that way. I'm going in a certain order of, not necessarily importance though, in telling groups of people. So I would probably make sure Lissa is one of the first people out and over there. And then Jera, knowing that they may have brought certain people from the Hive with them as well, or has an entourage. Did the Hive have an entourage actually?
Oh yes.
Okay, I'm a little less worried then because they're pretty good on their own. So I'm gonna make sure Lissa and Helene are actually some of the two of the first big ones that I get out the door, because I'm still trying to make good with Helene, and so.
All right.
Basically, I'm stealthily trying to like move. Soon as I hear that go off, I'm like, all right, through the back door, and I'm coordinating with the actual catering staff to, as stealthily as possible, move people.
Sure. So that's going to be a prowl roll.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
It is. That is going to be desperate standard. Currently, you have 2 dice in prowl. Here is what I would tell you. You can push yourself for the extra die. Alternatively, you can also use your ghost veil, which would also be 2 stress, and I would give you an extra die for that.
Yeah, let's go for it. Ghost veil time. Let's go invisible here.
All right. So you take the 2 stress, give yourself a bonus die for the ghost veil to kind of be that silent coordinator in the shadows, pushing people so that it seems like everything is flowing naturally, like everything has been set up ahead of time, and you're bouncing people off each other and keeping them separated the way they need to be. Yeah. Now, that is 3 dice with ghost veil. You can still push yourself, or you can take a devil's bargain.
What's the devil's bargain?
devil's bargain is that since you have started with Helene and Lissa, Jera and her entourage are cut off by flames, and you might have to go back, or someone else might have to bring them through.
I will risk getting burned, actually, for those guys. So I'll take that. I can.
Okay.
I've taken some fire damage already before. For everybody listening, I took fire damage in the Session 0 game, so not unusual.
So that's 2 bonus dice. So that would give you 4 dice. Now here's the next thing I'm going to tell you. Do you want to trade down a die to increase your effect up to great?
It's a really good question. Oh my god, Jaimie, you're giving me too many options. I'm indecisive. Yes. So I'll go down. 3 dice.
3 dice.
Risky
Desperate, great. Desperate, great.
Desperate, great. God help me.
And don't forget to give yourself an experience point in prowess for that.
Great.
Come on.
1. Okay.
That is a 6.
Oh my god.
That is a 6.
Thank God.
And for those of you who can't see in the audience, that is a 1-1-6. But it doesn't matter about the ones. It only matters what the biggest die is. And that is a 6, which is a perfect success. Asher, you are the Spectre in this case. You get Helen and Lissa and everyone else out through the night. Mother Narya is whisked away. And even Skurlock, you're able to pry out from beside Crow and get him carted through. And indeed, it's almost using Skurlock's intimidating presence helps motivate some of the other guests to move faster and down through the... To call it a back door is actually to do it disservice. Anya, Anya, who is the art for the audience, Anya is Archie's partner and actually the event coordinator. She's a dilettante with which the gang is actually friends with. And she set this up as she knows the criminal underworld a little bit. It's not a back door. It's a fucking tunnel from one building to the other. You will go down through the tunnel and out the other building, not even hitting the street.
I am sending Anya flowers later, or chocolates, or something really nice as a thank you. That's all that Asher is like saying under their breath as we get everybody through.
However, the fire is raging like an inferno behind you, and the hive do get cut off by the flames, and they are currently trapped back. They are fully capable of handling themselves, but they did not make it to the door back through the kitchen, and so you might have to go back for them, or someone else might have to bring them through. The fires are burning now, and the firebugs are advancing on your position. Let's go to Mort. Mort, you were by the door when they came in, and your job is security.
Yep. I am simply calling on whoever. I don't. You can let me know how many actual bodies we have as security. But whoever we have, I'm like commanding to my position, and I'm just going to hold the list and say name.
That's a command roll right there if I've ever heard one. Give me a command roll. Hell yeah, Mort. If I've ever heard for the equivalent of a goddamn D&D intimidation check, give me a command roll. You have 1 die in command. You are in a...
Can I use the ghost field a little bit to make Mort seem more intimidating?
Oh shit.
You want to help Mort.
I do want to help Mort.
All right, so you're going to kind of help Mort. Sure. You can do a little bit of a compelling action here to make Mort more intimidating. I say take a stress. Mort, you get a bonus die. Okay. So you've got a bonus die on that for your command. Additionally, do you want to push yourself? Devil's bargain.
What do you have anything in mind for a devil's bargain potentially? I'd be open to it.
With I would say your devil's bargain, you get a bonus die. However, with the fire raging all around you already and starting to burn, you standing your ground, you'll take a burn. You'll take a harm at the end of this. Because you're standing in the flames.
Yeah. I think that's fine. I'm good for that. Cool. So, desperate standard.
Desperate standard effects. You have 2 bonus die so far.
So,
do you want to trade a die down for great effect?
No.
All right.
No,
Desperate
I
standard. Desperate standard, 3 dice.
Got it.
And give yourself that experience point in resolve for the desperate roll.
Great. Yes.
That is a 6. The 6s are rolling in tonight, everybody. So you stand there in the flames. As you do, the flames lick up your side, and you can feel yourself getting a burn just up. So in your harm, take one, I'd say 1st degree burn, and the a little bit of pulling on through the fire and the flames, pushing and attuning through the ghost field. Crow reaches out, and to any onlookers, as you say this, for a brief moment, Mort, you look like you have horns spiraling off the side of your head and an additional 5 eyes that crest over you as you look down, all of them glowing red, intimidating these. And as you do this, a couple of the firebugs balk, intimidated, moving back. They are definitely less timid, which gives some of your security individuals who have come in kind of the opening that they need to kind of pick those off and get their attention and start taking them out, kind of, and start getting them out of the way. However, the leader who's focused on you in this doesn't seem to back down, reaches out, takes your list, and burns it in his hands. I'm sorry. Seems to have gotten away from you. I'm sure we're on it.
I think we better talk about this outside.
Wax.
Wax is probably about to walk towards the front door and sees Mort, for the most part, look like he's got it handled. And looks, I think, here's back at the kitchen, like, maybe some members of the hive saying, shit, we got locked, we're closed off, the fire's spreading. Looks back at Mort, looks back at the kitchen. I think Mort's got this, and steps in just very calmly, grabs like a giant blanket and rug, and walks in and just says, I apologize for the inconvenience of this evening. Please, let me go ahead and clear the way for y'all, and we're going to go ahead, get this taken care of, and continue to enjoy the night. And I'm going to start putting out the flames with the rug. Ideally, I think it would be like a finesse roll.
I'm going to look. I think I will call that a finesse roll. You're correct for putting out the flames.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to go up to Jera, and I'm going to hand her one of my samples of murmur, and I'm going to say, I hope this helps alleviate any tension about the inconvenience. And to give you an example, I pull out the second version of it, and basically like take it, puff the gas, and inhale. And I'm going to remember a moment in time where Tristaro first met Lim, and they were dancing in a pub in like the most drunken way, and ended the night with a kiss.
Which is adorable. However, this substance, we have our first use of murmur in the game, a drug that is kind of the basis of the entire venture here. So allow me, for the sake of our audience, to explain a little bit about it. Murmur is a gaseous inhaled substance that gives the feeling of a win, an achievement, a high ambition, and in some cases it can even make people feel prescient in the way that they think that they can foresee how they will achieve things. It is consumable, however, it is also unreliable. There's a chance that it will bring back a bad memory instead of a good one. But if it brings a good memory and gives that high, it has the opportunity to give people a bonus die on a scene. And that is a fortune roll to see whether or not it comes back. Now, the purity of the murmur dictates how many dice are used on the fortune roll. In this case, y'all are tier 0. So if that factors into the purity, and the making of it. However, Archie and your previous acquisitions of Echo's line of substance for it, who Echo, it comes from the tier 5 damned organization, and your acquisition of the apparatus from the Dimmer sisters, who are tier 2, factors in as well. So that means that your drug that you're currently manufacturing is a tier 2 drug, which makes it a 2 dice on the fortune roll.
Okay. Thank God.
So, with that, I will be rolling the fortune. By the way, it comes off of the cruise sheet, see? And this is kind of, the situation is, it is basically a 50-50 split. If it's a 1 to a 3, bad memory. 4 to a 6, good memory. And on a crit, you get 2 bonus dice instead of 1.
Ooh.
So, let's see what we get.
I am so scared.
That is a 5.
Oh, thank God.
That is a 5. So, Tristaro, as that memory curses through you, there's a little bit of shine comes to your eyes as you puff the murmur. You get that feeling of high, and for the first time, you're like, you get that feeling that comes through you, and you're like, okay. No, you know what? Firebugs be damned. This party's going great, and I'm gonna prove it. And you lay out the blanket to put out the fire. Go ahead and give me a finesse roll for that.
Mm-hmm. What's my position and effect?
You're still in a desperate position.
Excellent. As
I am going to say standard effect.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead. Yeah, desperate standard. Are you going to push yourself or take a devil's bargain?
What would be a devil's bargain in this situation?
Your devil's bargain here is you get a bonus die, but no matter what, Jera's going to take the murmur as well here, and you don't know what she's going to do after she does that.
I gave it to her willingly, so yeah, let's take that. I'm trying to like prove my trust with her, so hopefully she does something good with it.
So go ahead, take that bonus die, and keep in mind, if you want, you can trade down a die if you want to increase your effect to great.
You know, I'm just going to stick with the desperation here and the standard effect, and I'm rolling. Roll 20,
that is
please.
A 3. That is a 3. So, you go to put out the fire. However, Tristaro, you're skilled in many things. Most of them are verbal, not physical, is the thing. You do manage to like make enough distraction and noise that the hive is able to go through, but the consequence here is that both you and members of the hive will get burned doing this. Will leave you injured and the people around you not having the greatest view of you. Of course, that is a consequence you can resist.
I would like to resist that for sure.
That will be a prowess resist roll.
Excellent. All right. I can't push myself for this. I'm currently on my max, so it's either 6 or nothing. And it's a 6.
It is a 6.
High risk, high reward, baby.
High risk, high reward. Because if you gotten 1 stress, you were out for the rest of the
yeah.
Yeah. However, I will tell you, as you're putting out the flames, you take that moment to almost use your body. And as the flames look around you, you're caught in the reverie of that memory with Lim. And then it shifts to the memory later of that same person burning in front of you. That haunted light enters your eyes. You are distracted, taken out for, not permanently, but for a moment, as your reverie, your remembrance, pulls you back into all you've lost because of fire and pyro, specifically. Which is why you don't notice that Jera didn't go through with everyone else. Having taken the murmur, she has actually turned around and left the kitchen and appears to have re-entered the party where the pyros are. Crow. Mort is currently engaged, and you push through the ghost field to help his intimidation, which definitely had some effect. What else are you doing here?
I was going to go and do whatever I could to help Mort, but I think seeing that Jera is coming back in, I am going to try and interfere with that, because I think the last thing we want is the leader of the hive to burn here in this party.
That's fair. I will note that as you see Jera come back in her hand, from beneath her suit, a dagger has emerged in each hand, a long dagger in each hand, and she is moving with purpose. So if you choose to interfere with that, go right ahead. However, I just want you to have all the information.
Yeah. I know that she's certainly capable of taking care of herself. In terms of the fire itself, how is it going?
Rage. It is raging all around you. The decorations are destroyed. The champagne bottles have exploded because of the boiling champagne inside them. And unfortunately, a lot of the very delicious hors d'oeuvres just aren't left there. You know, they're a bit too crispy to be eaten.
I think my best bet here then is going to still be to help Mort, because I don't want to get stabbed particularly much. I would like to try and compel a ghost to come, like to be summoned here and help disperse the firebugs, help Mort deal with them.
Okay. So tell me exactly how you're doing that. Like, are you engaging in combat, or are you?
I am going to not engage yet personally. If I summon the ghost, I will engage with it. But if I don't succeed in that, I will die probably.
Right. So you're going to compel a ghost to appear to try to scare the firebugs.
Yes.
Push them away. Everything. All right. That's going to be an attune roll.
Yeah.
For sure. So give me an attune roll. Let's see. Do you want to push yourself? Are you interested in a devil's bargain?
I am always interested in a devil's bargain.
The devil's bargain here is that regardless of how you roll on this, you will summon a ghost. What will change is how friendly it is to you.
Okay. That is fair. I will take that risk.
All right. So give yourself a bonus die for that. You are in a desperate standard position.
Yep.
You can again trade a die if you want for great effect.
No, I think I will stick with taking the dice that I have.
Okay. That is probably a good plan. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
That is double sixes again. That is a second crit for Silas Crow Heartroot. Holy shit.
Incredible.
Can you point this out? This is crits back to back.
Yeah, I have not rolled for anything else.
Amazing.
As you reach out and compel into the ghost field, you summon not one, but two entities. Ghosts would be a misnomer in this case. The first entity that shows up, you hear a voice come through. Ah, there's fire everywhere. What the fuck? Ah, Jesus. What the shit, Crow? What the
I'm
shit?
sorry. I'm very sorry.
You fucking whippersnapper! And you! Are you the ones causing this goddamn fire? And Rick comes in and he starts just cussing out like two of these fucking firebugs to the point that they kind of just stop and like slowly like almost like sink into the floor like their grandfather is yelling at them kind of a thing. And Rick just goes off. He is cussing up a storm so bad enough that it would make Asher blush. Like it is brutal going through. These two firebugs are just like, and Rick just goes and goes and goes so much, and he's kind of like advancing on them so much that they're kind of like slowly, they just leave. Like they back their way out the door as Rick like keeps talking to them, and they're just gone. They're just gone. They're being hounded by a ghost. It's a different kind of haunting, let's say, as this compels down on them. The second thing that you summon doesn't arrive immediately, but you hear a sound like a bell in the back of your mind that rings. And you can feel something coming. Mort.
Did we establish that we had hidden away weapons throughout this party? We did. Okay. I would like to, in that case, seeing that they're not obviously yielding to my words, and feeling the burns underfoot, I'm going to hop over to this sort of like booth, I guess, where I have I'm gonna say, for the sake of theming, a fireman's axe stashed, and I'm going to engage this leader and simply say, I don't like bugs in my food. And he's going to swing.
So, Mort, I would like to point out that you have recently acquired the special ability not to be trifled with. You can push yourself, i.e. take 2 stress in order to perform feats of superhuman physical force, such as engaging a small gang on equal footing in close combat. If you want to direct all of that just on the leader, I would say that you would be going into this desperate position, but great effect. Now, mind you, you are burned, so that would lessen it to standard because you do have an injury. Right. But if you want to be not to be trifled with, you are going to be in that superhuman realm of this is my shit.
Yeah. I will absolutely do that. That's just 2 stress.
You take 2 stress and you automatically are going up in effect, and that isn't even in the terms of the roll itself. So you can still push yourself on the roll for an extra die, kind of a thing. Okay. So that is, now are you skirmishing or are you wrecking?
I'm wrecking.
You're wrecking. All right.
Absolutely.
So give me a wreck roll. You are currently at, with all that, desperate standard effect after injury is taken into account. Would you like to push yourself or take a devil's bargain?
I think not. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with it. Okay. So that's just, so no bonus die, risky, or desperate standard.
Desperate standard. Okay. Yep. That is a 5. So that is a success with consequence. You twirl the axe around and come in and start going at this guy. He's bringing up flames like a shield and a weapon. He's mitigating this. He's almost flowing like water around you as you bring that axe in. And as it does, you definitely ram into his chest and get a good hit off. And you can see a massive cut. He is deeply injured now. However, that burn, that fire, you've already taken one burn. It creeps and advances as he flares it almost in your face, basically. You will take another first-degree burn, which would be another level 1 injury. Don't forget, you can resist this.
Is this something that I can resist with armor?
It is harm, so yes, you could potentially risk this with armor. Resist this with armor.
So I'm gonna do that.
All right, so you're gonna use your normal armor?
Yes.
All right, so the fire, so that is a level 1 harm, so armor resists 1 level of harm, so the fire goes off, and you look back. Your beard does become shorter a little bit as it singes down. It's not, not super close, but it's shaved and curled a little bit now and singed, and you can smell burning hair in the air. As you kind of take that to the chest and you kind of move, and like the little bit of fire coating prevention that you've put on your armor flares it off over your head, and you turn back. Crow, that boom sounds a 12th chime, and Mort, at your back, a suited figure with 7 eyes and doffs a hat to the side. All 7 eyes open and his fingers snap. It's time for lesson 2, Mort. Show no mercy. And he cracks his knuckles and dives onto 2 of the firebugs.
Oh my goodness.
Spectre.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just still in shock.
You have been guiding people around, getting them out of here and everything, as you've making sure. Now you've gotten them down into the tunnels. You've gotten them across the new party. Your job now is to keep them calm, to assure them that everything is fine. Tell me how you're doing that.
Okay, so how we're doing that is we're making this into a bigger party than the last one was. So I have, oh God, is that Asher? I think it might be Asher. So there's a multitude of tactics we can take here. However, what we've got and done is gone to the bar, where I'm assuming we would have had like a standard bar setup where you could have gone up and gotten drinks, or is it just being brought around by like the wait staff?
You could get your own drinks. It's an open bar.
Perfect. The event planner in me is now thinking through all of the tactics. That's the problem here. Okay. What we're gonna do is we are going to, what do I have that can be fun? I'm trying to think of a fun way to utilize some of the things I may or may not have on me. Okay, actually, no. What we're going to do is spin this slightly differently. So, because we each would have had a couple of vials of murmur on ourselves, Asher jumps on top of jumps onto like the bar top, basically, to get everybody's attention. Just thank you all for indulging me in this new venue and new look, new feel. Go figure, there's somebody who wants to crash our absolutely delightful party. I can't blame them. However, they did a little bit of damage to the decor, and we can't have that now, can we? Instead, and they pull out both vials, I think it's a good time that we show you lot a demonstration. However, I'm certain you are all chomping at the bit to see what this does for yourself. This is Murmur. This is what we have for you. Now, I obviously only have these 2 vials here. However, let's make this fun and make this into a bit of a gamble, shall we? Let's take bets. And the prize happens to be Murmur. There are various tactics we could take here. We could either do, a drinking competition. That's always fun, but that I think is a bit beneath us in this case. We could do a competition to see who comes in next through that door, whether it is Mort, Tristaro, Crow. My money's actually on Tristaro, but mostly because they can't take any more damage. Or, I mean, I'm gonna say that I probably would have kept on me some form of dice card, something that is...
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Gambling-wise.
It's Asher, of course.
It's Asher. This is how we're doing this. Let's leave this up to a game of chance, shall we? Who in this crowd is interested in having their hand at a chance of murmur? We're trying to amp up the crowd as much as possible.
Give me a sway roll.
Okay,
You are
cool.
swaying the crowd. You are working it.
Cool.
So, you have 1 dot in sway.
Yep, I do.
You can't afford to push yourself without
Nope, I cannot.
getting a quirk at this point. You are still in a desperate standard position right now.
Cool, good.
Because, you know, desperation does not end just because the problem is out of sight.
Oh, I was gonna make a joke at Asher's dating record with the desperate, but sure, that's also accurate. What is my devil's bargain? Thank you.
Your devil's bargain is this. Crowd's gonna take you up on that game of chance. But one way or another, you're gonna be having to take one of those vials of murmur with whoever's the winner.
Yeah, and I will take that bargain. I had a feeling it might go in that direction. So, okay, I will take it. So desperate, standard, and I get 1 bonus.
You get 1 bonus die. Go ahead and give me a sway roll.
Oh, pray for me.
That is 6.
I have... This is...
It's your day. It's your
this
day.
is good. This is a good day. Apparently Asher and parties works beautifully. Go figure.
All right. So you push the crowd, work them, get them ramped up into a game of chance, and eventually it peters out and works its way down. I'm going to call this a fortune roll. And the way I'm going to run this fortune roll, on a 1, the winner is Mother Narya. On a 2, the winner is Nessa. On a 3, the winner is Skurlock. On a 4, the winner is Lissa. On 5, the winner is Helene. And on a 6, the winner is a random person who does not have an association with you.
Cool. I want Helene to win. We can do drugs together. It's going to be a great start to our relationship.
I would say 6 is Jera, but Jera's not here, is she?
No, I'm sorry. In their defense, they're already doing it. They're fine over there, apparently.
So, rolling a fortune. That is a 2. Nessa of the Grey Cloaks.
Cool.
So the ex-cop turned ring fighter lets out a loud, ha! Hell yeah! As she takes out wins the roll of fortune, comes up and takes the takes the vial of murmur, crosses arms with you, and it's like, oh, come on, pretty thing. Show me what you got.
Oh, darling. You ready for a good time?
Always.
Well, let's go. Clink.
Just click the button and the gas goes off in your face. And inhaling it, you both kind of breathe it in, and that kind of lights in your mind, and you can see the spark come to Nessa. We will do a fortune roll for the lovely and wonderful Asher to see how they do and whether they get a good memory or a bad one.
Perfect.
They get a bad one. A very bad one.
That's
a very,
okay.
very bad one.
Oh.
Tell us about your memory.
Yeah. I know exactly which memory this is going to be. So the memory that comes up is between Asher and this, you see, what Asher sees, and I'm just going to describe that because that seems easier in this. The memory comes through as Asher on this giant king-sized bed, 4-poster, all of the beautiful like drapery kind of adorning it, alongside with this gorgeous, noble woman who is known as Roslyn. And it is this moment of Roslyn, the other woman's just angry, vicious, upset at something Asher has done, whether it is cheated, lied, stolen, combination of all three. Asher is just looking down at their feet, embarrassed, dismayed, upset, disappointed that they hurt this person that they cared for. And that, with Asher leaving the bed, leaving the room, and leaving that mansion, is the bad memory that hurt them.
Asher, I need you to make a resolve roll to play off this bad memory.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that no one in the party notices.
Cool. So just straight up resolve?
Just straight up resolve.
Oh god. Okay.
Up and down. That is a 4. So you don't take stress. This isn't about the stress for you. This is I'm using resolve as a skill in this point.
Okay, cool.
So a 4 does come. So you managed to play it off, kind of a thing. Like no one can see the light fade behind your eyes. No one can see the kind of the dark memory and the stress kind of creeping in your mind. However, it is a 4, which is a success, but with a consequence. And in this case, the consequence being is that Nessa got so ramped up that you got so distracted by trying to keep your cool that you didn't see her like get ramped up. And she's a brawler, she's a fighter, she's ready to fight, and she's throwing a punch at you. So your consequence here is 1 harm, specifically being a cracked tooth. You can either take that or you can resist that. That would be a prowess resist.
Oh, sorry.
How much does Asher value their good looks and their teeth and the like?
I am so tempted to make this, knowing that I can only take 2 stress. This is not a bad time for me to go out if I'm gonna go out, guys. I'm gonna resist it.
All right, give me a prowess resist.
This is not gonna go well. I'm sure it's not going to. Come on, 6.
That is a 3. So, Asher, clear your stress and give yourself 1 quirk. You don't have to talk about it now. We can talk about it in the post game, but you are out for the rest of this scene and session. You've managed to quell the party, though, in this instance, with your gambling, and to get the fortunes and the roll rising, and to get people's excitement for Murmur going, and to get them distracted from the blazing inferno happening 2 doors down.
I did my job. I deserve a break.
Speaking of 2 doors down, Mort, a knife comes flying over your shoulder as it lands, thuds into the shoulder of a person, not killing them, but blade as Jera is advancing towards that with eyes locked on. Wax, though. What are you doing? Because you have come back from your haunted reverie and realize Jera's not here, but the fire is out and you're alone in the kitchen, hearing the scrambling noises of fighting outside and the still burning building.
I think so when we come back and see Wax, his face is like legitimately steaming because he had like tears rolling down his eyes, and he walks into the main entrance and sees Mort and sees the fire. Like, how many firebugs are left? Just out of curiosity.
So 2 of them have gotten like taken out and have been by Rick. The hunt, the demon that Crow summoned, appears to have taken down 2 of them. If someone doesn't call him off soon, he's probably going to kill them. It's kind of a matter of... Goodbye, Parker.
Bye.
Minor technical difficulties, don't worry, we got it. But the hunt, basically the hunt, if someone doesn't call the hunt off soon, he is going to kill these 2. And you know what death does to your wanted level. But so those 2 are taken. Mort is one-on-oneing with the leader who's here. And then there's some security guys who are taking off another 2. So there's like 1 guy that's currently not handled per se.
Mm-hmm. I think Wax is still very much in a daze. All these people have like a porcelain mask on with like a flame motif, right?
Yeah.
I think they don't see the mask really on people. And they like walk towards the one person who's like probably like catching more flame and just like casually walks up to them, tears still rolling down the eyes, and grabs the person by the shoulder and just says, "Lem, I'm sorry," and then puts sleep powder right under the mask.
Okay, I'm gonna call that a skirmish. That is a straight up skirmish for you. So give me a skirmish roll, Tristaro, right. And make it a good one.
Do you have a devil's bargain for me?
I do have a devil's bargain for you. A person's mask is gonna fall off.
Excellent. Yep. Let's go. Fuck.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Hold on, I accidentally closed my freaking toolbar and I can't see the roll there. Oh no.
2 and 3.
So the sleep powder goes up, but the largely the mask falls off and the person shakes their head and a bunch of dark loose curls fall out as the face of, let me look at my notes real quick, as the face of Marasi looks up into you.
Ooh.
Your former compatriot with Lim, who helped you as a pusher of Pyro previously. The sleep powder has not taken effect. And the consequence here, because you rolled very poorly, so no sleep powder effect. She looks up at you, looks into your eyes as you look into hers, and clocks you right in the face.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna try and evade that.
All right, that is going to be a prowess roll. You can't afford to take any stress, or you are out.
I know. Woohoo!
That is a 6.
Whoa,
Holy shit!
Goodness gracious!
Skinny your teeth, Wax. Skinny your goddamn teeth.
Let's see how lucky I feel by the end of the night.
Right.
She comes up to, ironically, cold cock you, but you manage to duck backwards as it whiffs. And as it does, she scoops the mask down from the floor and bolts out into the street.
I think like at that point, Tristaro is like knocked out of whatever daze they were in and just goes, that was Marasi. What the fuck? That was Marasi. I pointed at the guy that has a knife. How the fuck do you know her? And like pulls out the gun at that point.
At this point, the leader that you've been up against, Mort, who is injured, looks at the remaining. $5. Back to the hearth. We burned enough kindling this time. Besides, Firekeeper's gonna want to hear what kind of people we found here. This just got interesting. And he's gonna go to leave with his compatriots. This is what I would call a collective action for those of you who are left, since our lovely Asher is out of commission and currently distracting a party, and is in fact out of commission in such a way that she's actually probably drunk, partying. She's gone full party girl at this point, and is just trying to make sure people have a good time. But for the rest of you who are here, collective action, you got a choice here. You could take down these firebugs, the ones that are here anyway, if you want, if you really push for it. But in the process, the hunt will probably kill someone, if not 2 people, and Jera might get hurt because of how reckless she's currently being. So you got to make a choice as a collective. Take down the firebugs or stop the hunt and keep people from getting, stop the hunt and Jera and keep people from getting more hurt and let the firebugs go.
I have an idea, and I don't know how it's going to turn out or how it will be scored, but I like it. So Mort is going to yell for the hunt and go to wrap the handle of the fireman's axe around the neck of the leader, barring them from leaving, and just like beckoning to the hunt to try and get them to get their attention on me, basically.
Oh.
Hunt, those aren't your marks.
Ooh, those aren't your marks, they're mine, kind of deal.
Those aren't your marks, or this is your mark. This is very important here.
What I'm gonna say is maybe mark this one.
Make me an... I'm going to look at something real quick, but I think... Mort, you have a choice here.
Mm-hmm.
Make me a command or an attune roll.
Can we help out with like an attune action, like a group action at all?
I
Bro, you have an
certainly,
idea?
I probably could, if you wanted me to alter the like circle that I used to summon the ghost in the first place. I could make some quick alterations, see if it can influence the hunt in your favor.
This is on you, John, whether or not you want to do that. A group roll, a group attune roll, everyone would roll a tune, and whoever chooses to be the person taking the stress on failed rolls would take the stress, but we would collectively take your dice looking for the highest.
I think that is the best choice, and I would opt to take the stress.
Okay, so Mort's gonna opt to take the stress. I need an attune roll from everyone that is here. So Tristaro, Mort, and Crow.
It's desperate standard.
Desperate. Yep, it is still desperate standard. So everyone gets an experience point in resolve.
Ooh.
That's a 4.
Oh,
That is unfortunately a 2.
That's a
I'm
2.
sorry, Mort, because when you have no dots in it, you got to take the lower.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 3.
Well, we succeed at
So,
least.
we do succeed. So Mort, you take 2 stress.
Yep.
But it is a 4 as a success. As Crow, you go down and you very quickly modify the circle that you'd made for Ghost. You just the basic knowledge you have on demons and the hunt and the minimal experiences you've had, modify it for almost more into a circle of war. Tristaro, as this is happening, you can't afford to think about Marasi right now as much as you would like to. So you take the remnants of the sleep powder that you have and take the ash and mix it up into kind of I'd almost call it like a spark powder, and toss it into a flame at the hunt's back to go poof, kind of do a quick spark poof, and to get the hunt's attention to turn up towards Mort. And as you do, Mort, you're like, come on, don't you want a real hunt, a real target? And the hunt stops, turns, leaving the very injured firebugs that he is on to scramble away and flee out the door. Broken, battered, but alive. He turns to look at the one you're holding. Oh, Mort. I like you. I like the way you think. We're gonna make this interesting, though. He reaches out. From out of nowhere, in his hand, emerges a knife. And he holds it over the fire until it is searing red hot, and then hands it to you, Mort. Carve my mark into his chest.
Mort is going to take the knife, and with a surprisingly practiced form, he's going to carve it while standing backwards, like into this person, without shockingly practiced, without having to really look at it.
As you carve it in, the firebug in front of you screams in agony. And then you let him go. The hunt chuckles. Run away, little firebug. It's no fun if there isn't a chase. And the leader scrambles out the door. The hunt laughs and laughs and laughs. Now you're learning, Mort. Welcome to the wild hunt. And he disappears. The firebugs are gone. All of them fled at this point, which is enough to stop Jera in her reckless advance. And eventually come down a little bit from the murmur. Wax, you're able to get Jera to return to the party with kind words and smooth actions now that she's still riding that high that she got along with you, and you even get a smile out of her for what it's worth, riding on that murmur. The building is lost. You all flee as it disintegrates in flames just in time to hear a kind of a distant, basically attaché of the bluecoats coming to put out the fire brigade, as it were. A brigade of the bluecoats that's been getting more funding recently, given the recent rise in pyro, coming to deal with this burning down building. But the party goes on, undisturbed, into the night. And when morning comes, you all have managed to walk away with minimal injuries to your guests. Whatever injuries you might have taken to your mind and body in the process. To that end, we're now going to go to downtime. Congratulations on surviving the party.
Gracious.
So,
Surviving.
One stress away
Surviving.
from another.
Jesus.
take a breath, everybody. Take a breath.
Wait.
All right.
Asher brings up a good question in chat. Asher, what bed did you wake up in?
Oh no.
I need to know.
See, I was about to respond with, like, okay, but we got another bed all together, and it was just multiple people, and it worked out great.
Yeah.
All the beds. Does that count?
There you go.
Asher, give me a fortune roll. Just a random fortune roll.
Oh no! Okay.
Just 2 dice. 2 dice fortune roll.
Number of dice 2. Beautiful. Submit. No, there's no notes.
That
2
is
and 2.
2. 2. You wake up in your own bed, alone.
God damn it.
Uh,
Womp womp.
Doesn't mean you didn't make some good connections, though.
Crow
your bets.
does want to give a vial of murmur to Skurlock.
Right.
Partially in apology for having their evening so disturbed.
That's fair and valid. So I'm actually, because this is the payoff for the job, before we go into downtime, we're going to talk, well, payoff is the first part anyway. So the payoff for this job, remember, isn't coin, it is reputation. There was no real coin on the line. However, you got a base 3 reputation based on, you start with base 2 by default, and it was +1 because of just general tier. Of the people you made happy, you made Mother Narya very happy. So that's 4. You made Jera quite pleased with your product, to say the least. And with your handling of the situation. So I'll give you the 2 for Jera. Nessa had a good time. Disappointed that she didn't get to have a real brawl but had a good time. So I'm going to give you that one. You handled Skurlock deftly, to say the least, and very well. So I'll give you the 2 for Skurlock.
Oh.
Lissa was not paid attention to through most of the night.
Yeah.
In any form, shape, or regard. Not to say that she was not intrigued by how you handled things, but you did not pay her any mind. So I'm not giving you the rep for that. Last but not least, Helene was more than satisfied with her time at your party and with how well you handled yourselves. So that comes out in the wash to 10 reputation, 4 of which maxes you out. So now we got to decide whether or not you're going to go up in tier. The amount of coin it costs to go up in tier is equal to your crew tier plus 1. So, no, wait, that's not correct. How do you go up in tier? It costs a certain amount of coin to go up in tier. Oh, okay. It's equal to 2 plus double your current tier. So your current tier is 0, so it costs you 2 coin to go up to a tier 1 gang.
I think that's.
We have it.
That's probably
Yeah.
pretty easy. Where our coin is maxed out for the crew.
Yeah, we have the coin.
So let's burn away 2 coin from your vault, and y'all are now a tier 1 gang with a weak hold, which means you also get a new piece of turf. Congratulations!
Ooh.
Ooh.
So as your new piece of turf, what would you like? Would you like just a generic turf that gives you options to more turf later? You can also get your hands on a local graft, which means that for shows of force and social venues such as this, you would get an additional 2 coin. Or would you like surplus caches, which gives you extra coin for product sales or supplies?
Both are good.
I was gonna say either is good, I think.
I think the next step would probably be a product sale. So if we have surplus cash,
Yeah.
it's like going back to Archie and saying, good news, bad news. Firebug showed up as bad news. Burned down the first house. Good news. Your partner is amazing, and that second house came in clutch.
Yeah.
We need more product immediately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so surplus caches it is. Now you will get any jobs that involve the sale of product or garnering supplies for your product. Gives you an additional 2 coin on top of whatever the base is. And that is your payoff on rep. So that was 4 there, and then you get an additional, but you got a turf, so we mark that is just, that goes towards your reputation. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y'all need 5 more rep to go and to solidify your hold as a tier 1 gang. So well done. Truly
Cool.
well done. So that's the payoff there. Now we get to talk heat. Was this smooth and quiet with low exposure?
I mean, no.
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 Not really.
No.
To be
But that
fair, not
wasn't-
our fault.
Right.
Not
I
your
was
fault. And also, not really the point of this. You were trying to make some noise in terms of your moving your supplies, right? But
true
compared to that last job, very well done. So I would say, I would actually call this contained, because you kept it contained to the building. You got everyone out. You handled the situation. So that's just 2 heat. Now, for a high profile, well-connected target, you do get an additional heat. The high profile connected targets being all of your guests, plus the firebugs are very in the news right now with everything going on. So you get an additional heat for that. Add 1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. No, this was under your control. This is, y'all knew what you were doing. This was a place that you rented out. Add 1 heat if you're at war, which you are. And then add 2 heat if killing was involved. You managed to avoid killing anyone. You pulled the hunt off of that person. So nothing there. That is 4 heat on you. So, which is pretty good, all things considered, honestly. Very well done, I would say. However, now we get to go to entanglements. which is always the fun part for me, and what kind of problems this might cause for the crew. So the number of dice is equal to your wanted level, which is 1. No bonus dice. We are rolling on the Heat 4 to 5 table. What is your entanglement for this job? A 2. Okay. Interesting.
I don't like how you said that. I feel
No.
more concerned than the party.
You've taken demonic notice.
Well,
A demon
That makes sense.
has taken an interest in your party, but maybe not the one you expected after all this was said and done.
Damn it, Mort.
Crow, you made contact with the other side in a volatile, violent way this way, amidst fire and flame. You pulled so hard that drawing on that and the fact that Mort was here pulled on that connection, and the hunt showed up. In the wake of this party, as you're going about the day-to-day normal life for you, you return to your dormitory because you are a student at the academy.
I sure am.
And as you're kind of just tending to your day-to-days, you watch as you're kind of making yourself up in the mirror, as the mirror behind it ignites in flame and then slowly burns down. Whether or not your mirror is actually burning, you can't tell. But as it does, on the other side of it, looking out at you is just 2 cinders like smoldering coals in darkness with flames reached around the edges. The contact, the other side, amidst flame, is my domain, little crow. And to do it with such volatile entities nearby, the likes of Skurlock, the Hunts. Fascinating. Are you interested in being baptized in flame, Crow?
I am interested in moving forward.
Ever forward, never behind. These little firebugs, these pyromaniacs, are an insult to my legacy of ash and fire. I can teach you true control of the flame, one that rests in your heart. I can show you the tricks that they deign only to emulate. Should you so choose. And in this manner, with demonic notice, you can accept the demon's bargain, forfeit 3 reputation to hide until it loses interest, or find another way to deal with it.
Crow is going to accept it.
Brilliant. Then let us begin tutelage in the realm of fire itself. And I'm going to be adding a clock to your sheet, Crow, for mastery of ash and flame. And that is something that you will be able to spend your downtime on and working in terms of, advancing interests and potentially getting yourself a new special ability out of it.
Ooh. Nothing could possibly go wrong with this.
no.
Never. Absolutely not. Under no circumstances. Anyway. So, that is your entanglement. Let's go ahead and get to actual downtime activities. Now, as you remember, you all technically get 2 downtime activities, except for that minor little thing that y'all are at war still with the Foghounds, which means you only get 1. Let's start with Mort. Mort, how are you spending your downtime?
I'm definitely going to go to the doctor.
Okay.
And fix up that 1st-degree burn.
Sounds good. The doctor's gonna kind of just like, you again? What is it with you people?
It's this one should be pretty straightforward. I know you've dealt with burns pretty recently, I think.
Yeah, you short friend. I'm in here looking like a barbecue. Yeah, I got plenty of salve for it. Just get a seat.
Much appreciated.
All right. So he's gonna take some time and he's gonna work on that. Okay. So that fills in three clicks of the progress clock on your healing. So you're not fully healed yet. If you want to, you can spend a coin on another downtime action to heal that up, or spend that coin on a downtime action to reduce your stress. Or that can just be your downtime.
Goodness gracious. I'm in kind of a bad spot. So I am gonna spend a coin to finish up that healing.
Okay. All right. So the doctor's gonna be like, ooh, I think you got burned a bit worse than you thought. Yep, that's it. So you're healed up. So go ahead and remove that injury.
Great. Is there a limit to how much coin you can spend to get more downtime?
Nope. As long as you got the coin, you can keep doing downtimes.
Then I'm gonna go down to spend my last coin to go indulge in my vice.
Broke but healthy. That's Mort.
Yep. That's how he likes it.
All right, so go ahead and hit your indulge vice button as you go to see Marlene, who this time takes you in and is like, that last fight, we might need to, kind of work on the basics again with you a bit. Why don't you hop in the ring with me?
Yep. Also, I think I'll I hate to do it, but I feel like I deserve it this time. I'm probably gonna I'll volunteer to teach the level 1 boxers for a bit. I'll take the next shift on that.
Hey, no better way to refresh yourself on the basics than to teach others them.
Yep.
That's the thing. There becomes a point in every point when you're doing martial arts where you can't stop learning until you start teaching others. So go ahead. Yeah, okay. Give me an indulge vice roll.
Just flat, right?
Yep, just flat. There's just a big indulge vice button and you click it.
Yes.
That's a 6. That is all your stress.
Oh,
clear your stress.
Awesome.
Hit the little X at the bottom.
Amazing. Woo!
Absolutely. So, yeah, Mort's doing great.
Love
now.
That.
Healed up. He's broke, but he's as good as he's ever been.
I will
Still a little reckless, but
I will absolutely take broke, no stress, no harm, any day.
All right, Wax, your downtime.
Yeah. I have 2 thoughts here. Either I can go indulge in my vice and get rid of some of my stress, or I can ignore my vice, get 1 more point of stress, and clear all of it. Because I do want to get rid of that project.
Yeah, that is fair and valid on you. It's entirely in your wheelhouse there, Tristaro.
Yeah.
You don't have any coin.
I don't. I think so. Here's my logic around it. I think Tristaro just feels extremely thrown off that Marossi is in town working for the Firebugs, and reliving that experience with Lim, and then seeing Lim catch on fire in front of them. Just even after the party, even after talking and everything being a huge success, they're still very thrown off and don't even go by the grave at that point, just completely forget about it. And I think that's where they max out on stress and just like pass out.
Yeah. Okay.
And this, of course, being them working through and talking to people and trying to finally get that paperwork done for Donovan, and him going to other ministries and saying, I need a copy of this. Hand it over. Sweating for that.
So give yourself another quirk, first off. And second, give me a roll for finishing up those papers for Donovan. I would call that, well, what are you using to finish these up?
It's going to be sway. It's, or actually, I guess it would be more sort still, because like it's reaching out to connections and saying, I need you to give me these papers. It's very important that you do.
All right. Give me a consort roll.
All right. Boop, boop. I'll take a 4.
Okay. 4 is going to finish off the clock. So you can... Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. I am trying to delete the clock.
The clock
Thank you.
restarts once again. Do it over, but better.
Do it over. Whoops. The clock is gone. You managed to finish up the cover papers for Donovan, who takes them, gives you a nod, and disappears for now.
And Wax just says, don't let anyone ever say I break out of a deal. And they like shake hands again, and that like web of ink recedes from Donovan and goes back onto Wax and just stretches up and finds like a place to rest on the shoulder. Swirls a few times off camera and fades out.
Absolutely. Are you only using the one downtime action? I guess
all I
you
got.
don't have the coin.
Yeah, I'm broke.
You are broke. All
I'm
right.
broke and soft.
Crow.
Crow is also going to indulge in the vice, because I don't like being 3 stress away from a quirk. I would like to be less than that.
Absolutely. So go ahead and give me a indulge vice roll. That is a 5, so reduce it down. I think you only have 1 stress now.
Wow.
Y'all are going to be living stress-free for this next one.
Yeah.
Going to go great. We can make as many risks as we want.
Oh, if only. And you, as indulging your vice is very weird. Please indulge us in how that goes.
Silas goes down to I forget what it's called, the place that the father runs in 6 Towers.
Yes.
Get what it is called.
The Church of the Weeping Lady?
No, it's the one that the father runs, not the one that the mother runs.
Oh.
That is why I have forgotten.
Yes. Father Yorin?
Yes.
It is also the Church of the Weeping Lady.
Oh, they're the same place? Okay.
They're the same place.
Great.
It's just 2 different sides of the same place. You know, she handles the more, shall we call normal customers, and Father Yorin indulges with the stranger side of things.
Mm-hmm. So I think it is funny then that Crow and Wax go to the same place for solving their problems.
2 sides of the same coin.
So Crow goes down to the church and sort of books a private room. And you may guess from how you see Crow in normal life that they very much like to flirt with danger, and don't really take much note of the consequences that come with it. Very like taking it in stride sort of way. And they like to take that flirtation to a further level to relieve their stress.
Absolutely. So you managed to relieve some stress by quite literally flirting with the other side in some respects. Excellent.
Precisely.
And Asher. Asher, you have no stress.
No, it's great. This is wonderful. I see what they're all talking about now.
You have no stress. So how would you like to spend your downtime?
have this figured out. For the record, I already decided that the quirk that I'm picking up is reckless, because you know how when you have like a bad breakup that sits with you, you kind of just throw yourself into a lot of different things kind of recklessly? That's what this memory did to Asher in this case. And for that reason, and correct me if it doesn't work this way, we're going to train. I want to train and resolve with the idea of I am kind of going into practicing my consorting and swaying kind of prowess in a way by going to the Silver Stag and talking to Elaine and not gambling for once.
Yes, so training is that you're pretty close on how training works. Yeah, it's basically
Cool.
You train in either insight, prowess, or resolve, and you get experience points in that. And when you max out the experience points in that bar, you can put the dot anywhere.
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
So I'm training in resolve, and I would like to think it's because Asher has decided to go to the Silver Stag not to gamble for once, but with the idea of that devil's bargain in the back of their brain of like, I am going to be on high alert every time I go to this casino now. We are choosing to willingly do so to kind of get better at doing this.
Yeah. So you get an experience point in resolve, and because of your all's like crew upgrades that you actually have training in resolve for that. So you actually get 2 experience points in resolve.
Amazing. Perfect.
So you are very close to an upgrade in resolve as you go to the Silver Stag, and rather than gamble away your wants, actually practice these social situations that you may find yourself in more in the future. But with downtime activities out to play, you do have a coin, Asher, if you want to do anything else. But no?
Could I go reduce heat? Yes. Am I going to? Not right now.
That's fair. But with downtime activities out to play, this is where we fade and close the book on this chapter of Fire in the Dark. Thank you all so much for joining us. I had a wonderful time with these amazing cast members. We're gonna go around the bend and say who everyone is. Cole had to step away, but hopefully he's back by the time we get to him. If not, I'll talk about Cole. But let's start with John.
Thank you so much, Jaimie, for the session. Incredibly well handled. Thank you all for watching. I'm John Downey. I'm from the Outlaws Network. There's a podcast network. If you want to check out any of the shows there, you can check us out at twitch.tv/the Outlaws Network. And then you can find me specifically on Twitter at RealJohnDowney.
And Downtime with John and Emily.
Well, there's a lot of things that I can specifically call out, but lots of podcasts. We've got some great stuff. Check out the Outlaws Network, and you can find all of that through my Twitter at RealJohnDowney.
Parker.
Hi, I'm Parker. You can find me both on Twitch and Twitter at ThePixieParker. I stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, where I mostly play dating sims. Surprising absolutely nobody at this moment. Otherwise, that's the main stuff that I'm doing right now. I've got a couple of projects in the back burner that are hopefully I can chat about next time, but otherwise that's me and what I'm doing.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Rue.
Hello, my name is Rue. You can find me on Twitter as @IlanaKnight13 and essentially everywhere else as just Ilana Knight without the 13. On top of being on this show, you can also catch me alternating Fridays on Bars and Brews, where I run a Tal'Dorei D&D 5th edition adventure, as well as alternating Tuesdays on Heroes Without Limits, where I run an investigative horror system of my own design. And on top of that, if you're interested in curated play, I am the community and social media manager for Tabletail Games, which is a curated play network. Today we're going dark. We don't have any games that we're playing, but the rest of the week, our GMs we've all decided to donate our proceeds to the Bridget Alliance. So if you'd like to play a game with us, all of our proceeds this week are going directly to the Bridget Alliance for reproductive rights.
Wonderful. And again, Cole had to step away, but Cole is Ice Cold Brew on Twitter and Twitch. He's currently playing various games, including Elden Ring, which he's playing with his partner, on his Twitch channel, so you can follow him there. He also can be found here on Huntsmen's Hydra, not just for Fire in the Dark, but also for Denari's Half Dozen, which premiered last week. So you can get a double dose of Cole if you hang out here on the Huntsmen's Hydra. And of course, I'm Jaimie Wolfe. I am an art and variety streamer where I stream on my own channel. And then, of course, I run this game over here on Fire in the Dark. So check me out there. On Twitter, I am Jaimie Wolfe Art. So just, look me up. And if you like what I do, feel free to hang around. Oh, speak of the devil, here's Cole returning himself. Welcome back, Cole. We were just talking about you. Since you weren't here, I was doing your outro for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, go follow Cole. But to close this out, I want to give an absolute thank you to you, the audience, for all the money that you have donated. We have raised $220 for our justice for reproductive rights and bodily autonomy for people, and that is thanks to you. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for participating in our giveaways. And thank you so much for watching. And of course, last but not least, we have to give a wonderful shout out to our producer, Brandon, AshenWorks, and all that he and his amazing partner, Mischievous Red, aka Mariah, do on the Huntsmen's Hydra and their own channels. So from us to you, we'll see you next time, scoundrels. Have a good night.